Okay. Yeah, that didn't help much. Just trying to cover up all the light coming in behind me because it's whitewashing me. Let's see. Is that any better? I don't know. Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, Squeaky. I hope it doesn't. Might stain the back of this. Hey, baby. Well, hopefully I didn't stain the back of this red that I'm wearing because I have my blonde wig on and I was brushing it and some of the purple came out, got it all over my hand. And there's Kalika. She's got to come up and investigate, of course. But hopefully this isn't staining the back of this. Anyway, whoops. No, I don't want to leave the site. Freaking roaches. Give Brooke a minute. See if she can pop on. trying the hand sanitizer. I know that looks weird when I do that. Some of the cruel ones out there would say, "What, you retarded?" No. Very, very highly intelligent. But happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hey, Kalika. Just trying to get this down there a little bit. Okay. Wanted to make sure that was up 100%. So I'm going to do, I'm going to read 3 more cards today out of my nature card thing. But some of the cards are incomplete, like the first 3 that I read, there's no card 2. There's group 1, card 3, card 4, and then card 1. So the 3 I'm going to be reading today is card 5, 6, and 7. But I don't know which one, is Brooke is going to see as far as the message. So let me try. Text. Try this one. Ow. You created this group MMS with 201-490-2159. Okay. Hopefully she'll reach one of them. I'll keep checking. So there's that one. Okay, that's not going to help. I think. Yeah, it's just going to go with the same one. What is this text from? Anyway, I could also try Signal. But I don't know, like, how long it takes for this message to reach her because she's in England, which it's should be around 2 or 3 p.m. there. But anyway, if you make it goodbye, sweetie, great. If not, that's okay. I will let you know. I'll try to text you later and let you know it's on here. But if you hit your bell icon, it should notify you on your phone or whatever that there's a new live stream. Gotta find find my glasses here. And, oh boy. Yes, I'm wearing a pretty dress. Oh well, I'm not gonna wait. We'll go ahead and get on with it. So, I stopped at the Rose Hips card. Rosa canina is another name for it. The curative potential of rose hips, the fleshy red fruits of the dog rose, and other types of wild and shrub roses, has been known since the Stone Age. Today, as then, the fruits are mashed into a vitamin-rich pulp and consumed raw or cooked. They are also often dried. Rose hips are used to prepare teas, extracts, purees, or marmalades. And I'll keep checking off and on, see if she pops on. Plant facts. The dog rose, a main source of rose hips, grows up to 10 feet high and bears fragrant white flowers. The hips, which have a slightly sour but pleasant taste, emerge in the fall after the blooms have faded and the petals have dropped off. Origin. Native to Europe, Northern Africa, and Western and Central Asia. Wild and shrub roses now grow in many parts of the United States too. Provides immune boosting vitamin C for the prevention of colds. Parts used. Rose hips can be used fresh or dried for medicinal purposes. To prepare them, cut the fruits open. For wine, right, or a smooth texture in jellies or purees, remove the seeds. When you are ready to store them, do not use a metal container because fruit acids can react with the metal, giving the hips an off flavor. So what it means by wine, to the right, there's a column over here that has wine listed, and it tells how to do it if you want to use it for wine. Components. Rose hips are prized primarily for their high vitamin C content. The fruits also contain such health-promoting substances as carotenoids, yellow-orange pigments with antioxidant properties, fruit acids, and pectin. Indications. Because they are so rich in vitamin C, which strengthens the immune system, rose hips are often taken to prevent or treat colds. They also have very mild diuretic and astringent properties that may help people with chronic kidney disease or poor bladder control. The fruit acids and pectin in rose hips can have a slight laxative effect. In addition, rose hips' antibiotic and anti-inflammatory properties make them useful as a disinfectant. Extra tip: just 1 tablespoon of rose hip pulp more than satisfies the adult recommended dietary allowance for vitamin C, 60 milligrams to store the pulp. Freeze it in small portions. Methods of administration. Tea. Pour 1 cup of boiling water over 1 tablespoon of dried crushed rose hips. Steep this mixture for 10 minutes, then strain. Drink 1 to 3 times daily. Commercial rose hips tea bags are also effective. Wine. Remove the seeds from 3.5 ounces of dried rose hips and steep the hulls in 1 quart of dry red wine for 2 weeks. Strain. Drink a small glass of the wine daily. Syrup. Put 7 ounces of dried rose hips and half a cup of sugar and 1 1/4 cups of 100 proof alcohol. Let this mixture sit for 4 weeks. Dilute the strained liquid with 3/4 cups of water. Enjoy a small liquor glass of the syrup daily. Pulp raw. In a food processor, blend the hulls of the freshly picked fruits into a puree, and press the pulp through a sieve. The fresh uncooked fruits can be eaten raw or used to make rosehip jelly. Pulp cooked. Steep the hulls of the freshly picked fruits overnight in water. Simmer this mixture for 30 minutes, then strain. Eat it as is or add it to sauces. Next card. Aloe vera. This ancient medicinal plant is said to have been part of Cleopatra's beauty regimen, if I can talk. And today, many cosmetic creams and lotions contain the soothing and astringent aloe. The sap of the aloe is an excellent first aid remedy for minor burns and infections. Plant facts. Strong laxative and wound healer. Aloe looks like a succulent but is actually a member of the daylily family. A crown of fleshy leaves grows on the end of its short stem, which reaches a length of about 24 inches. When you cut its leaves, you will find a bitter-tasting juice and a soothing gel. Origin. Aloe originated in eastern and southern Africa. From there, it migrated to America. Today, it is primarily grown in subtropical areas of the United States and in the West Indies. Parts used. The leaves of aloe contain the plant's medicinal substances. In fact, a bitter liquid from the base of the leaves is boiled and dried to produce the base material for a drug called aloe. Gel from broken off leaves can be used directly on the skin, extracted from the insides of the leaves. It is available commercially. Components. The most important components of aloe are its anthracene compounds such as aloin and aloimidin, which affect the large intestine. The plant also contains resins and bitters. Its gel contains polysaccharides, enzymes, amino acids, and antibiotic substances. Indications. You can take aloe internally as a laxative. It's commonly found in over-the-counter laxatives as it stimulates intestinal activity. Plus, if your appetite has waned, aloe tincture can re-stimulate it. You can apply the gel externally to promote regeneration of the skin and speed healing of minor wounds. It inhibits inflammation, stops minor bleeding, and helps cure eczema, sunburn, and minor burns. Finally, aloe moisturizes dry, sensitive skin. Take care. Never use aloe as a laxative for more than 1 to 2 weeks without consulting your physician. Overuse of any laxative can cause a potassium deficiency. Fresh leaves. Aloe leaves are not available in stores, but the plants are very easy to grow. You can find them at any garden center and you'll be able to use the leaves as needed. Aloe vera gel. Cut or break open a fresh aloe leaf to obtain the gel. Apply it to skin irritations such as minor cuts or areas with eczema or burns. Aloe vera juice. Aloe vera juice obtained by cold pressing the entire leaf of just the gel acts as a laxative. It is milder than the compounds found in the whole aloe leaf. Drink aloe vera juice to help maintain colon health and to ease peptic ulcers and irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS. Labeled products. Aloe juice and extracts are available in health food stores. Aloe is a favorite moisturizing ingredient in natural skincare products. Suppositories, laxatives, and the taste-enhancing coating on many types of pills often contain aloe. Homeopathy. Potencies greater than 4 times are used for both internal and external treatments. Going somewhere?
Huh?
Thought you were going somewhere. You was putting your shoes on, shoes and socks, or it looked like you was. Yeah, I got socks on too. My feet was pretty cold out. My feet were cold, and the slippers get, they get wet from sweat, and then I have to switch to something drier. Okay, last card for the day, anyway. For today, black elder, Sambucus nigra. Much folklore is associated with this European plant that is also known as boar tree. Pre-Christian documents attributed protective healing powers to the black elder, and in England it was believed bad luck to cut its branches for fear of showing disrespect to the mother elder, who was thought to inhabit the tree. Plant facts. The elder is a member of the honeysuckle family and can grow to a height of 33 feet. The sweet smelling, spicy, but somewhat bitter tasting flowers produce blackish purple fruits with an aromatic, tart taste. The stalk and branches contain a white, fluffy pulp. Origin. The elder is native to Europe, North Africa, and Western and Central Asia. It thrives throughout lowland forests and along roads and fences and is very often found in farmhouse gardens. Parts used. The flowers and ripe berries are used medicinally. The flowers should be harvested as the plant begins to blossom. Components. The black elder flowers contain flavonoids, rutin, mucins, and tannins, and a large portion of organic acids and calcium. The berries contain fruit acids, vitamins B and C, and folic acid, as well as essential oils. Indications. Described as a complete medicine chest, black elder induces perspiration. When you have a feverish cold, take it in the form of a hot drink. Elder also promotes expectoration, which makes it a good treatment for coughing and bronchitis. The pulp of the berry and the freshly pressed juice have a diuretic and laxative effect on the body. Avoid the red berry species of elder as it can irritate the digestive system and make you feel nauseous. Extra tip. A folk remedy for burns is a paste made of elder and milk. Boil freshly picked, chopped flowers in enough milk to make a thick paste. Allow to cool and apply to the affected part of the skin. For feverish colds, coughs, and bronchitis. Tea flowers. Pour about 1 cup of boiling water over 2 heaping teaspoons of dried elder flowers. Strain after 10 minutes. Drink 1 to 2 cups of freshly prepared tea several times daily for best results. Drink the tea as hot as you can tolerate it. Tea from berries. Add enough cold water to cover approximately 3 heaping teaspoons of dried elderberries and allow to stand for several minutes. Then slowly bring the water berry mixture to a simmer. Gently simmer for 10 minutes and then strain and drink. Juice or syrup. Remove the stems from 4 pounds of ripe berries. Squeeze the juice from the berries into a saucepan and add about 1 pound of sugar. Boil for 5 minutes. Skim the foam from the surface. Fill canning jars with the syrup and seal while hot. Prepared syrup is available from pharmacies and health food stores. If you don't want to make your own, to prevent or to treat a cold, drink the heated juice or syrup dissolved in hot water. Puree. Boil about 1 pound of ripe elderberries with 1 cup of water and 2 diced apples. Put through a sieve and sweeten to taste. So, there's those. And I got to mark somehow where I left off so I know. Left off on card 8. Actually, it's probably better if I write it down or something. Had these little cards over here. I was going to use one, but anyway. So I just got to remember that I stopped at card 8. 8. Yeah, the next 3 cards are 8, 10, and 11. So card 9 is missing. It was a series of cards that I got a long time ago. And I'm amazed I got as many of them as I did before they just stopped sending them because I wasn't keeping up on my payments every month so that they would send me the next batch and so on and so on. Okay, now for lesson 2 and the Buckland's Blue Book. And yes, I have my Gothic ring. Finally bought it for myself recently. So, lesson 2, beliefs, deities. As different as are the many religions of the world, in essence, they are all the same. it has frequently been said that they are simply different paths, all leading to a common center. And this is true. The basic teachings are all the same. All that differs is the method of teaching. There are different rituals, different festivals, and even different names for the gods. Notice that I say different names for the gods rather than simply different gods. Friedrich Max Muller traced religion back to an incredible feeling of dependence upon some higher power that was innate in the human mind, and Sir James George Frazer in The Golden Bough defines religion as being a or conciliation of powers. Propitiation, not sure how to say that. Superior to man, powers superior to man, which are believed to direct and control the course of nature and of human life. This higher power, the ultimate deity, is some genderless force that is so far beyond our comprehension that we can have only the vaguest understanding of its being. Yet we know that it is there, and frequently we wish to communicate with it. As individuals, we wish to thank it for what we have and to ask it for what we need. How do we do this with such an incomprehensible power? In the 6th century BCE, the philosopher Xenophon remarked on the fact that deities are determined by ethnic factors. He pointed out that the black Ethiopians naturally saw their gods as black, whereas the Thracians' gods were white, with red hair and gray eyes. He cynically commented that if horses and oxen could carve, they would probably represent their gods in animal form. About 750 years later, Maximus of Tyre said much the same thing, that men worship their gods under whatever form seems intelligible to them. In Lesson 1, you saw how, in their early development, people came to worship two principal deities, the horned god of hunting and the goddess of fertility. These, then, were our representations, our understandable forms of the supreme power that actually rules life. In the various areas of woman and man's development, we see that these gods and goddesses' representations became, for the ancient Egyptians, Isis and Osiris; for the Hindus, Shiva and Parvati; for the Christians, Yehoshua and Mary. In virtually all instances, there were exceptions. The ultimate deity was equated with both masculine and feminine, broken down into a god and a goddess. This would seem most natural, since everywhere in nature is found this duality. With the development of the craft as we know it, there was also, as we have seen, this duality of a god and a goddess. And I have to pause because Michael's on the phone.
In order for this offender to call you in the future, we will need your approval. Please answer the following questions. Are you the person authorized to make decisions for this telephone number?
Yes.
Press 1 for yes. Press 2. Please say your full name after the beep.
Chris Bazart.
Confirm that you understand that all calls will be recorded and monitored. Do you understand? Press 1 for yes. Press 2. Your telephone number will be added to the allowed list for this offender. Thank you. Hello, this is a free call from an inmate at the Marion Correctional Institution. To accept this free call,
Oh
press
boy.
0.
And so it begins.
This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL. This is a free phone call, right?
I don't know, honey.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, hi.
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 Hey.
Hello, he's munching
Happy
up.
Valentine's Day, guys.
Yeah, you too. He's munching his waffles right now.
Waffles.
Yeah, waffles.
Not the greatest. They're the frozen.
But they're waffles. They're still good.
Oh yeah, waffles are good. Waffles are good no matter what. Like they're waffles.
Yes.
I have good news. I was able to get my divorce paperwork. Turns out I already had it.
Oh, whoops.
Like, yeah, like I didn't know I had it, and I was going through a bunch of my legal paperwork, and one of my guys was like, "You said you need divorce papers, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "That's them right there." I was like, "Huh?"
Well, that's good.
That's fun.
Yeah.
How have you guys been?
Okay. Just kind of hanging in there, trying to deal with the weather.
From an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I went and saw Grandma the other day, and they're all okay over there. Mom and Jim's okay. So, Grandma's not sick anymore. She's back to herself. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I know that's a relief. That's a major relief. But
fucking Brooke's been dealing with like a horrible fucking toothache where the dentist fucked her mouth up. You knew that, right?
Oh no,
Yeah, like for like 2 weeks she was going through this pain where like they drilled too close to her nerve and it was just horrid nerve pain for 2 weeks.
Oh
But
no.
she got a tooth pulled today. And she's so much better.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that's not fun.
I've been trying to cheer her up all day today. She's been out of it the last couple weeks and stuff, but I've really been doing my best to cheer her up.
Well, I'm live streaming right now, so you can always tell her that I'm live streaming. See if she can pop on,
I think she's getting ready to pop on her own live stream because she's getting ready to start she wants to go live with the crystals today.
Oh, cool.
I think she's doing that right now.
Oh, good.
Right now.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, I'll have to get her YouTube, address and everything so I can go join.
She's gonna be on TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. Okay. Yeah, I don't have TikTok yet.
Yeah.
Chris don't like it. That's Dad. He's like, I don't know.
Dear, that's one of the few apps I will complain about you having on your phone.
I'm not putting it on my phone. So that's okay. I'm glad she's doing that, though. I would have liked to have been a part of it, but,
yeah, I mean, that's what she's going to be selling her crystals and stuff on, or her crystals and candles in the TikTok shop.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I'm glad you guys have been okay. It's been a while. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and I'm,
you know how it is.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't make it, for your birthday, but I did a videogram for you the day before. I don't know if you got it.
I did.
Okay.
Thank you. Made me smile.
Yeah, I'm glad because, I'm sorry, sweetie. I would have loved to have come up and seen you on your birthday, It would have been special for both of us,
It's okay. Don't beat yourself up.
We're kind of hurting. We're kind of hurting a little more in money because even though we got a almost 6% pay raise,
yeah,
prices have gone up almost 9%.
Yeah, that's true. The cost of living. Yep, the cost of living's gone through the roof again, so it's crazy.
Especially
Yeah.
gas.
I get it. Me and her are struggling to do the same thing right now, so don't feel bad. I've been trying to still want to visit for her all fucking day today. I've been trying to find, I talked to a couple of my people today, because I don't want her to fork out any money for a visit. I want to surprise her, but I haven't been able to. I've been failing all day.
Oh.
Needless to say, I've been failing all day. I wanted to surprise her with the video visit for Valentine's Day. Because like I said, she's been going through it the last couple of weeks where we really haven't had a chance to talk.
Yeah.
And see each other because of the pain she's been in.
Right.
I wanted to lift her spirit, stuff like this, but I think I'm just gonna give up on it.
Well, at least you tried, though. You tried. You can always do it a different day. Maybe you'll have better luck and say this is your happy belated Valentine's Day or something.
Hey.
Yeah, true.
Something you can tease her about. If the kids misbehave, she licks them under the stairs.
She what?
Oh, God. Here we go.
I told her that, we're going to be good grandparents and feed the kids on lots of sugar and give them noisy toys to take home. And she said, that's okay. I'll lick them under the stairs.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I'll lick them under the stairs. She meant lock them, but she said lick.
Doggone autocorrect and all that silliness. I mean, it comes up with all kinds of words that to me aren't even words, really. Oh, but it's all in fun, so I'm sorry she's been, going through so much pain, though. I guess I better light a candle for her today and hope that today goes okay for her and stuff.
Right.
And she gets, has some good luck with getting some of her stuff sold. So, that's always extra money, and that's always nice. It definitely helps. But, they, Grandma and Grandpa, I feel kind of bad for Grandpa because him and Pastor Toby, had to literally crawl under the house in the crawl space to fix some pipes because they kept freezing and breaking because they weren't done properly. And, it's winter. You got to have water and,
That house has shit for insulation.
Yeah, it's cold in there. It really is. I mean, it's like what you say about 10 degrees somewhere around there than here.
You put, even with the furnace at 76 degrees,
Yeah.
The house stays at around 68.
Yeah, it's a little chilly. Yeah, it's weird. And I mean,
it's just
bad insulation.
Really shitty insulation.
Yep. It's not doing its job. So, Grandma and Grandpa have to be more careful about, dressing warmly enough. And the last time I saw Grandpa the other day, his voice is so hoarse he don't sound like himself. Because, because of it's too cold in there. And, Grandma lost her little yellow bird several weeks ago. Yeah, I've been wanting to get her another one, but I don't want to transport a bird in this weather. I'd be terrified that it would get sick or chilled or something before I could even get it back over there to her. And, it was money that I put back that Maria helped me with. Like she put like 15 towards it, and I put about the same.
From an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
So we both put about 15 towards it. So I'm trying to leave that alone, because I want to still get her a bird. I just don't know when. Because she's got 2 cages at home. One of them, she has her male who's left, and he's in the big cage, and it needs cleaned real bad. And then there's a smaller cage that she found that she had in her stuff, and she wants both of them scrubbed down really good and dried really good. That way we can transfer him from the big cage into the little cage and then clean the big cage real good, because I've done that for her before. And, and then that way the male and the female, when I can get her one, can be in the little cage until we can get the big one, fixed up and, cleaned and scrubbed and all that. So, that's something that, I know how much her birds mean to her. And I know like several years ago, you got to work with some or something, I thought, with some kind of program where you guys were working with animals. Yeah. Because I remember dogs. I remember you talking about dogs, I think, at one point, and then the birds. And I didn't remember any other animals that you mentioned.
We have dogs, cats, birds, lizards, fish.
Oh, wow. Didn't know you had that many.
Yeah, we've got all kinds.
Oh, wow.
What else? We have shit. Oh, fuck. We've got, damn, my brain just stopped working.
Yeah, brain fart. Yeah, don't you love those?
Yeah, man.
It's like train derailment in process.
It's all right. I got another hole in my head.
Oh, yeah, that's his favorite thing now.
What happened?
I had a little bit of nerve tissue that was overgrowing. Nice little lump on my scalp. They cut it out.
Yep.
So I got another scar now.
Yeah, so he's got stitches inside, stitches outside. The stitches outside are supposed to dissolve on their own.
stitches inside too.
and the stitches inside. So it seems to be doing okay though. You know, I mean, I was keeping it bandaged for him and stuff for a while, and however many days he felt like he needed to do it, and you know, because you don't want to pull on those stitches when you're sleeping, because then you could start your head bleeding again or something. So I don't want that.
Yeah.
But
No.
they're gonna do a biopsy. We're not sure how soon, but they're gonna be doing a biopsy for him. What?
It's too late now, but I was holding off telling him until we knew one way or the other.
Oh, well, sorry, I didn't know. You didn't tell me, dummy. They found some spots on both of Chris's lungs, and they're going to biopsy some of the tissue, from one of the spots, and check it and make sure it's not cancer. So fingers and toes crossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to have them put him out, because they were just gonna give him a local anesthetic, but you know how he is about needles, and they would be sticking a big flipping needle inside of him to get that biopsied. Ugh.
Through my back and into the lungs.
Yeah, through his back and into his lungs, and I just don't think he can handle that for 20 minutes without being knocked out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with him so I can get us both, you know, drive us both back home and everything when they're done. But we don't know a date yet because they haven't called and set one up.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Well, the PT scan,
That he went
basically
through.
they use a dye that's supposed to attach to anything that's doing excessive growth.
Yeah.
And while it attached to the nodules more than anything else, it was not enough for them to definitely say it's cancer. So they think it might be a holdover from the COVID and the pneumonia, just a little bit of an infection. As a possible.
Yeah, so we're just trying to maintain, you know, hopefulness and optimism that that's all it is. And then when they do the biopsy, they will find that's all it is, and that it definitely is not cancer. So that'll be a sigh of relief. So yeah, that's pretty scary.
If it is cancer, it's being caught plenty early enough that it shouldn't really be an issue.
Did you hear that?
No.
He said it's if it does turn out to be cancer, it's getting caught early enough that it shouldn't be an issue, and hopefully they'll be able to remove it, you know, fairly easily and all that.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
So, you know, I'm definitely going to be, you know, keeping it in my, you know, magical workings and stuff that everything will be okay and it won't be cancer. It's not cancer. It's just that infection and, you know, a infection or whatever, but they can get it out of there, you know, pretty quick without much issue or any issue.
Fucking hope so.
Yeah, I know, because, you know, we already lost Randy recently, so, you know, we don't want to lose somebody else, because that would just mess a lot of people up, and I feel bad, you know, that I didn't know. I mean, Randy didn't really get a chance to know him very well, didn't get to see him very many times, you know. So, but I'm glad he was there for you, and he helped, you know, get you through some stuff when you were doing your teenage angst and all that.
My dad was in the hospital again recently.
Yeah, his dad was in the hospital again recent, and
seems like a monthly thing with him.
Yeah, Chris said something. Didn't you say something about septic? That he's septic, so it's like really bad. So that's another scare. It's like, oh boy. Yeah, because he's like 10 hours away. So if we had to go down there, what we probably have to do is first we would set it up to make sure that Chris had a vehicle that somebody down there would let him use, you know, so that he could get around down there to do whatever he could do. You know, if we end up, I hope we don't lose his dad, but you know, and then I would have to drive back by myself so I could take care of the house and the cats and have a car myself.
That stuff's kind of changed.
Okay, he said that's changed. So, I mean, I knew it was a possibility some time ago, and seems like once a month or monthly, his dad, there's some kind of something going on. So that's scary, you know. It's like, yeah, so do I. Because that dialysis, I didn't fully know what it was until Chris, I think, described it to me, and come to find out that it's where, like, they take all the blood out of your body. They take all the blood out and then clean it and put it back in or something or another. So that dialysis, yeah, kidney dialysis, when they do the kidney dialysis stuff.
His kidneys don't work, so they have to use an artificial filter, and they can't use an artificial filter in the body. They have to basically they add an external loop to his circulatory system. They plug it in, the blood comes out, goes through the filter, goes back into his body.
Yeah, which tends to make you sluggish and tired, and I mean it wipes you out, I can imagine. So hopefully it won't come to that, but it's definitely some serious stressors to deal with and try to get ourselves through every day, because we don't know what's going to happen next with his dad, and it's just scary, so we keep hoping too that it'll be okay. But at least on the plus side, grandma's better and she's herself again, and she's not having any issues. She we think it was a food poisoning that she went through, and it was those bad lima beans, and now she's afraid to eat any canned food because she's afraid it'll happen again. So I don't blame her, because if somebody's not in there and they're not going to take the time to, check the date to see if it's good, if it's still good or not, then, it's not worth somebody getting sick. So, but, other than that, I mean, things are pretty much the norm over there. They're slowly getting more of the boxes out of the front room and getting them moved elsewhere, either in the garage or upstairs, so that grandma can set up her nice decorative tables that she likes to set up in there. And I wish there was some kind of device we could come up with that we could hang the bird out there in his cage so he could be out there with us, but it wouldn't, Stubby wouldn't be able to get up there to him, because I had him standing on top of a tote and 3 sizable boxes. I mean, it was a bit of a, not too much of a challenge, but, I had to be very careful setting it up there, because I didn't want to topple the cage, because it's big and heavy. And I would put him out there in the front room with us during the day, because he seemed to like that. And then at night, when grandma's getting ready to go to bed for the night, then she would tell me, go ahead and take him into my room. I said, okay. And then I just pick the cage up, carry him in there, put his little cover on him, and he knows that means, sleep time, night, or whatever. So, but Stubby, oh wow, Stubby, she, when I was over there the other day, it was really chilly in grandma's place, like we said, and she gave me this doubled over blanket that I literally picked Stubby up and laid her in my lap, and she stayed. She's never done that. She actually stayed there for a good, few minutes until she got warm. And then she, jumped down, and then I just kept, covering up my legs and stuff with it, because that's the part of me that was cold, because I still had my hoodie on or my coat or one of those. And, because I'm trying not to get sick. And, but she kept getting up there, climbing up there and sitting between me and Jim on the couch. She's never done that. So I'm like, well, that's good. I guess, that means that she's, getting used to the place, and, she realizes this is their new home now, and she's a little more comfortable. And, sometimes she'll go upstairs and lay on grandpa's bed. Sometimes she'll lay under it, so she's getting around, she's getting along and getting used to it finally. But I know that, she needs to keep herself warm too, because we don't want her getting sick.
This call is a
I wish my nose would quit itching.
And may be recorded and monitored.
And this is a heck of a time to have a nose itch attack. Goodness sakes. Ugh. I was getting nosebleeds a couple of times too recently because the air was too hot and dry where I was, or whether it was here at home or, even outside somewhere. Um, but that was scary. And I mean, I haven't had any since then, so I'm glad of that. But I've had a couple of them, and I've never gotten nosebleeds before. Never in my whole life. I've never gotten them. So I hope it's okay. And it was just that it was just too hot and dry. And that's what, ended up bothering me and stuff. And it's okay now. And I can blow my nose without worrying about seeing a bunch of blood,
I mean, they do that here. I mean, that happens to us here. Because all the air here is so old and dry.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, like one like I think it's a homeopathic remedy you can do, but I doubt they would allow such a thing there, is you take a metal butter knife and you just kind of press it gently up against the bridge of your nose, and for some reason it stops the bleeding.
I don't bleed that long anyway.
Yeah, mine doesn't either. It's just when it happens, it's scary. Because I'm like, okay, why am I suddenly getting nosebleeds when I never did before?
Right.
So I'm not, I'm trying not to overreact, but it's still kind of scary. And, I remember Chelsea being here before and getting a real bad nosebleed. And I forget how we ended up getting it stopped, because, I don't know, like, how much blood you could safely use or lose that way, rather. With that before it's like serious, and then it's like, you better get to the hospital,
You really can't lose, you can't lose enough blood to be considered to be dangerous from a nosebleed. It looks like you're like broken nose or like something's wrong, like you were injured.
Right. Well, that's good. It's good to know. It's just goes to show how hot and dry it is around here. And I, try to, like, if it's not too cold outside, I'll crack the window for a few minutes or something, just the slightest little bit, just to get some outside air in here. And then I have the Arctic air that I still have over here that belongs to Grandpa. And I've got the filter in the freezer in our new fridge. So, that would be a way to keep it, a little cool in here too. Because I usually use ice to put in the, in the top of it. So it gives you that nice cool breeze kind of effect without having a bunch of fans going and stuff. But yeah, I decided to dress up kind of, to me, it's kind of special. I got this real pretty red robe that I can use as like a top, like quite a wraparound top, but it's got real pretty sleeves to it. And then I got one of my pretty long dresses underneath it that has like red roses, and it's like red, gold, and black. It's got it's real pretty. I wish you could see it. It's one that Grandma, or not, I bought it from Rose's. I thought Grandma gave it to me, but I was like, no, I bought this from Rose's, and they only had one of them left, and it's a 3X. So when I wear it, even though I'm as heavy as I am, when I wear it, I have to tighten it up because otherwise it's too loose on me. And then it doesn't feel right. So I have to tie it in the back, take like a piece of crochet, like a little crochet belt or something that I can run it through and snug it up to where it fits more snug and isn't constantly, like making me feel awkward because it's too loose on me. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know that we're going to do anything special today. We really don't have any money to do anything. Yeah. So, I just figured I would do a live stream and, maybe it would help cheer me up and see if Brooke could pop on. And even if she can't, that's okay, because she can always see it later. I can always text her and let her know that it's on here and she can see it later, because I'm on the Janelle Mabius one right now on my main laptop, because my Chromebook the little blue mouse that was working with it suddenly decided it's going to stop working with it now. So, and I can't get the doggone plate that acts as the mouse. I can't get it to work right. So I can't scroll the page down and just all kinds of craziness. So at least with with what I call my big laptop or my main laptop, I still have a mouse that I can use. And, it's never given me any issues. But, because most of the time I was doing my live streams on my Chromebook just because it's lighter weight, it's easier to handle, it's easier to pick up and move around and, stuff like that. Whereas my other one, because it's hooked to my flat screen, which is next to me, I can't move it a whole lot because if I do, then it dislodges the plug that, allows me to have the screen, the big screen.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Which I mostly use for like my Sim 3 game when I play it. That's what I mostly use the big screen for.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been playing my Sims 3 Supernatural a lot lately. And I know Brooke said she had some Sim 3 worlds herself, but we never have been able to coordinate yet what ones she has. And then I can tell her what ones I have. And then hopefully we can find one where we can both kind of play the same world at the same time and hopefully find each other. So like I could go visit her or she could come and visit me or something like that through the Sim world. I wish you could see the houses that I design on there because I've done some really neat ones. But getting my Sims moved into them, that's still a challenge for me. I learned different things here and there, but I've still got a long way to go. And what I really need is an expert that's been playing it for like years and years and years that knows, oh yeah, you do this and you do this and this will happen and this will happen. And this is how this works and all that. But, I'm just kind of stumbling along. At least I'm learning here and there as I go. And sometimes I get lucky and it's like, oh, I learned something new that I didn't know how to do before with it. Like, I've got a real pretty, like, blue, violet, sort of Egyptian Mao on my one of my Sim worlds, or a couple of them, because I have the pet expansion pack, so you can have dogs and cats. There's fish, I think. There's birds, there's horses, you see deer running around, you see wild horses, you see raccoons, and it's just really a lot of fun, and the horses you can learn to ride because, they have this whole section in the worlds where you can learn to ride a horse, but I've never done that one. I'd probably get thrown more than I or my Sim would. But, horses take a lot. And I mean, I don't do real good with the pets. Sometimes I do okay, but other times I don't. Like, I try to get my Sims to interact with them, and they won't. And then the animals get mad at them because they're being neglected. And I've even had, like, one time I had, like, I think it was like 4 cats.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And basically, they got taken away, like what they would call a child services kind of place on the world. So if you neglect your pets, somebody will come and take them. And then I saw them all run and get in a car, and I just started crying. And it's a game. So I'm like, oh boy. But anyway, it's about to cut us off, sweetie. So we love you. And, I'm glad that, you was able to call on Valentine's Day, Yeah. Yeah. I'll try to get on my JPay and love you too and see how many stamps I have left and try to do some more videograms for you in the future, okay? All right. Love you. Bye. Here you go, babe. Your phoneage. Well, at least, I know why Brooke's not on. But that's okay. I'm glad she's, got her own thing that she's doing, and she's hopefully we'll get some stuff sold, and that'll make some extra money, and it'll give her something to do. Now back to lesson 2. Deities' names. As mentioned in lesson 1, the names for the deities would vary depending on locality. And not only locality. With the goddesses especially, the question of names could become quite involved. For example, a young man with problems in his love life might worship the goddess in her aspect of a beautiful young woman. Yet a woman in childbirth might feel more at ease relating to the goddess as a more mature, middle-aged female. Then again, an elderly person would tend to think of the goddess as herself being elderly. So there we have 3 separate and very distinct aspects of the same goddess, each having been given a different name, yet all being the same deity. As if that were not enough, the deities would have names known to the general worshippers, but also other secret names, often 2 or 3, known only to the priesthood. This was a protective measure. Pan, a Greek nature and fertility deity, originally native to Arcadia. As such, he is god of goat herds and flocks, and is usually represented as a very sensual creature, a shaggy human to the loins with pointed ears, goat's horns and legs. He wanders among the mountains and valleys, pursuing nymphs or leading them in their dances. He is quite musical and is the inventor of the syrinx or pipes of Pan. Yep, he is considered to be a son of Hermes. In witchcraft today, there are many traditions that continue this multiplicity of names. Traditions with degree systems, for example, frequently use different deity names in their higher degrees than in their lower. Gardnerian is one example of this. So we have this idea of an ultimate deity and incomprehensible power, and in trying to relate to it, we have split it into 2 main entities, a male and a female. To these aspects we have given names. It would seem that by so doing, we are limiting what is, by definition, limitless. But so long as you know and keep always in the back of your mind that it is limitless, you will find that this is the easiest path to follow. After all, it is pretty difficult to pray to a thing, a supreme power, without being able to picture someone in your mind. In Judaism, there is this problem to an extent. Though Judaism is a theocentric faith, the supreme power has a name that may not be uttered and may not be written. Yahweh is the vocalized form often used, but it is derived from the 4 letters, YHWH, the divine tetragrammaton, signifying that name too sacred to be pronounced. Hang on, I'm trying to hurry. In Christianity, there was developed the use of a human male, Yehoshua, to play the part of the Son of God, the Christ, thus giving a recognizable form to deity, a form to which the followers could relate. With the addition of Mary, the mother figure, the duality was complete. So it was much more comfortable to pray to Yehoshua as the extension of God, supreme being, yet all the time knowing that there was the indefinable, the incomprehensible beyond him. Yehoshua and Mary were the intermediaries. So in witchcraft, those we know as the god and the goddess are our intermediaries.
I'll call you back.
Different traditions use different names, and as already mentioned, these are the names used for the understandable forms of the supreme power, the ultimate deity. They are the deities honored and worshipped in the witchcraft rites. Yes?
I'm waiting till you get done.
Well, you're going to have to wait a little bit because I got a whole section to read, and I'm doing this on a live stream because this is lesson 2 in the blue book.
Okay, you know that the 10 angels? I'll have to give me another one. Okay.
7 angels.
10. I meant to say the round one.
7.
It just came off.
Did it break? Was it one that was glass?
The one you gave? No.
Oh, you mean the silver one and the black ones like that we have that are the same?
I'll have to give me another one.
Okay, I should still have them on my wish list.
See, it came off.
Oh wow, I hate when that happens, because that's
So I
not
wanna
happened to
get-
mine.
Oh, because
Yeah.
I gave the other one to my daughter, so now I kept one.
Yeah.
So I need to get me another one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it was 7 angels, but it's been a
I
while.
think
I think it
seven?
was 7.
it's 7 or
Yeah, I
10?
think it was 7. I think it was 7.
Yeah, the round one.
Because you got to remember, you've got throne angels on one of your vessels there
Yeah, I
too.
know.
So
I
it,
know.
it can be easy to confuse the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure the other one's only 7.
Well, if you do, go ahead and just order it for me.
Oh
Would
yeah, yeah. I should, like I said, I should still have it on my list.
you?
So
So you
I'll bring it up sometime when you're.
you know which one you're gonna use. Okay.
Okay.
You know, I'm talking about the card.
Okay, yeah. Is there a certain one you want me to use? Because I don't remember what one. Do you want me to use the PNC one? And I'm trying to think of what one that one is.
Use a PNC.
PNC. Okay.
So that comes straight out.
Okay.
The other one
Okay.
I would have to pay.
Okay. It should tell on the list, which ones are which, so I can, get it ordered for you. Because
Yeah, because I want to.
do you want me? You just want the single one, or do you want to get see if there's the double pack again?
I want the double pack.
Okay, I'll see if they have the
Okay, so
double
it
pack.
does this shit to me again.
Well, sweetie, that's why a lot of times when I put some of mine on, I put them on differently. Like
Oh,
I
good.
won't do them through a piece like that. I will find another way to, put something on there. So because those are so unstable, and they do tend to fall apart. Like, my Hecate key, I can't even use that unless I take that link off of the end of it. I'm not going to be able to get it off the chain, so I can wear it on a different, necklace, because I want to wear it with my ring, because all I've been able to wear with Hecate so far is my ring. And if I put my high elf back on, I might put my green man little thing on with that, because she said that would be perfectly fine because they're nature beings. So I was like, okay, because I told her that I would never put anything else on that chain with her vessel. But if she gives the okay and I can see where the green man would be acceptable, then I probably will, because it's so small. The area, you've got to have a really small chain to get it to go through.
Well, when I do, I'm gonna put it on like a string.
Yeah.
when I get this time.
I don't think I have mine out here. Let me see if I can. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go in here in my room and see if I can find mine and see
Hello.
if there's a more secure way to fasten it.
Good morning. What are you doing? Yeah, he's there. I gave him 2 boxes because I had cat litter in. Fresh cat litter came to me. Yeah, you want me to let you in? Yeah, you want me to let you in? I said. You need to come in? I don't know. You want me to ask? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. See that hole there
Yeah,
that this is not in?
I'll see.
That's what I would do. I would try to find a way to
He
do
said,
a
hi,
link.
Janet.
Hello.
All right, they call me.
Okay. Is Maya coming?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, that's what I would do, sweetie.
See,
Is
And I-
see, okay, now see how tiny that hole is, but it's part of the necklace. You see what I'm saying? So the better way would be to get a link to put through there.
that's what I'm gonna do when you ordered it for me.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm
That's
gonna
what I
use
got
a
mine.
string. I'm gonna use a string.
Yeah, you could use like a string or something.
like
It's gotta be
this.
small.
Look.
Yeah, there's ways.
See?
There's ways.
See?
That's why, I do that. Like with this one, if this link wasn't very good, because that link's pretty strong, I would put it through that hole
That's what I did with
because
his.
that's more stable.
See, look, I did
Yeah.
that with that. Look.
Mm-hmm. And the same with this one. See, if that ever falls off, I would put one through there.
Oh.
Remember that? I thought you had one like that.
Oh, yes, I do. Well, mine's a smaller.
Because I know we got the one that has the cat on the fence
Yeah.
and the moon or
They
whatever.
gave me 2 of those, and I gave you one. Remember?
Yeah. Yep. Is that Maya? That might be
This ain't
Maya.
This ain't Maya.
Oh, okay.
This is somebody else. Hello.
So yeah, we'll find a more secure way to fasten it for you.
Hello. Hey.
Could staple it.
What are you doing?
Church house.
All right. Maya is outside, but you want to know what you was doing? Were you in the bathroom, taking a shower or something? Yeah.
Okay, that was her to call me. Okay.
Yes.
No, yeah, I was just on the phone.
She just called me. So she said when she called me, I'm gonna let her in. Okay.
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 Yeah, because I got them confused myself.
Yeah, that's
I thought
why I
it
need it.
was, I
See?
thought it was Maya.
No, this ain't Maya.
I know. I mean Bianca. I thought was
Yeah.
Maya.
No, it was Bianca the first time when you said hello.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, where's my Valentine?
I don't know. I think our Valentines are hidden in some strange place.
What?
I said, I ain't got nothing but a kid.
She said she don't got nothing but a kiss.
That's cute. I like that. Come on.
Okay, I'll
Got
come
to
and
get
get
my
it.
glasses loose.
I'll see you in a minute. She said I don't got nothing but a kiss.
That's cute.
I said I'll come and get it. That's what I want you to order. See,
Yeah.
it came right off of here.
Yeah.
And they must came up while I was outside. See?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate about
I hate
these. Some of these
that.
fasteners, I know. That's why, like I said, if I can find a more secure way, like a piece that's actually a part of the necklace,
Yeah.
then it's not gonna, you just got them. Then it becomes you got to get a strong enough link to put in it or whatever piece of
Mhm.
string so that it's less likely to come off
I hear you.
on you and stuff.
I hear you. Like here, I did this. This kept coming off. This thing kept coming off.
Oh, really?
This thing.
Oh,
So I put it together with this one. Now it's attached.
yeah. Yeah, there you go. Because you can, wear it under your clothes. You don't
So
have
that's
to
what
wear
I'm
it
gonna
outside.
have to do with this one. If I'm since you
Yeah.
ordered it for me, they ain't that much anyway.
No, those weren't very much. They didn't cost very much.
And there it is. I'm like, oh,
It's like, no, I lost it. Oh, dang it.
and I never took it off with this.
Oh, I hate that. I hate when that happens. Because I've had necklaces do that to me before, too. So that's why I developed the idea of let's see how much more secure I can put it on, some different way.
At least I got this angel. This is always with
Yeah,
me.
you got your throne angels. Yeah. And
I
I
don't-
mean,
I don't
the
think
angels will, even though you lost the pendulum for now, the angels will still be with you.
Yeah, I know.
It's just, a material thing that, we see it and acknowledge the angels, but
Mhm.
it's not really a needed thing. Like they're not suddenly going to not be around just because you don't have the pendant.
I know, but I still want that.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
the one
yeah.
gave it to me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I remember we
yeah.
found,
'Cause
some really
You got
nice
him
ones.
one. Harold, and now I lost mine.
Yeah. We'll get you another one. I'll get another double pack for us. So
Yeah, because I gave one to I gave the other pack I gave to my daughter. She wears it, so
well, that's good.
she says she does. So I said I'm
I'm
glad you
glad.
do.
Yeah.
She said you still wear? Yes, I wear mine every day. Unless I take it in the shower, I take this off, and then when I'm done, I put it right back on it.
That's what I try to do. Most of the time I'll try to take mine off. But if I get a feeling from them, don't take it off. It won't hurt us none to, to take a shower, because you got to remember, as long as it's not water soluble, if the vessel isn't water soluble, like selenite, you don't want to get selenite wet. If you sit it in like a bowl of water, it'll dissolve. It'll start dissolving into powder. Selenite is,
I don't know. You know
I've got my
I
tower
don't
over
know
here.
What you talking about?
It's a
right
certain
now.
type of crystal.
You said it will fall.
Yeah, it would turn into dust.
Why?
I don't know. It dissolves in water, so
Does
you gotta be careful.
Does it stay like that, or could you get it back the way it is?
No, see, that is selenite. You don't want to ever get anything selenite. You don't want to get it wet because it'll dissolve. It's just, I don't know why it dissolves,
And then,
but if it did,
still
you
can
would
use it.
lose some of it. You could still use it, but if it dissolved completely to powder, then it would be harder to use. That's all. I mean, you'd still be able to possibly use it. It'd just be harder. Oh,
See, that came from you. See, now I have to buy it. That
What?
came from you. The angel.
oh yeah, the
That came
7
from
angels.
you. That came from you.
Yeah, because it's a nice one. You know, I mean,
but I'm just saying.
I feel a lot better when I wear mine for sure.
I do. That's why I don't take it off. I feel.
You feel safer. You know,
I
you
feel
know,
safer, but right now
empty,
I feel
like
empty
something's
and-
missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like something's missing.
Yeah,
That's how it feels with me right now. 'Cause
yeah,
I only take this off when I take a shower.
yeah.
Other than that, I don't. I put it right back on
Mm-hmm.
when I'm done.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm naked.
Yeah.
You might as well say I'm naked.
you feel the loss of
I
it.
feel naked. That's
I
the
know
way.
what you
Just
mean.
like my phone. If I didn't have my phone, I feel naked. If I didn't have my phone.
Yep. Where's my phone? Where's my phone?
So
That's
the
like
same way
having your
this.
glasses on your head. Where's my glasses? Oh, there they are.
That's what I'm saying about this. My angel.
Yeah.
I feel naked now.
Yeah, we'll get you another one.
Well, since
That's
I'm
why I keep them on my list, you know, so we can find them again, no problem.
I hope they still got it because I want it.
Well, they should be. Yeah, they should be. It, like I said, it should still be on my list. It might take me a bit to find it because I've added stuff since, so I may have to go through several pages to find it, but it should still be on my list.
Oh, you do say angels.
Yeah, like I could do like 7 angels pendant, and it should
Yeah,
bring them up
it should
right
bring
away.
them up.
Yeah.
For you. Now you don't even have to find. You could just, say it. Spell it out. It will come
Yeah.
right back out to you.
Get in there, Ice.
All right. I just wanted to tell you to order it. So.
Yeah, I will. And I'll make sure I use the PNC card for you. So,
Yeah, the PNG.
I know what
it will
one-
It will come straight out.
okay.
Okay. I don't have
Gotcha.
to worry about it. I don't
Gotcha.
have to worry about paying it or paying on my credit card on it
Right.
and stuff like that.
I'll make sure I use that one
And stuff.
for you, and
Alright.
I'll let you know when it's ordered. So,
Who bought my cat litter on
Hey,
the
baby.
door? Chris, did you did it?
no,
Then it must.
Chris said something about, we needed some, but we didn't know, if you had any extra available or not.
Extra. You better go downstairs and see how much extra I got.
Well, then great. Then if we could have one, that'd be great because we're low.
I got like 10, more than 10 boxes.
Okay. Well, babe,
And I
there's
got
your
one
answer.
more Sunday, Saturday.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, you got a few.
I think I got like 20.
Oh, I believe
20
it.
or at least 10.
Okay.
Other than that, my old fashioned,
Tote. Yeah.
not coat.
Tote. The big thing you keep it in?
No,
No.
old fashioned, oh boy, the old fashioned stove. It's unsafe.
Oh, right. Yeah, the antique stove. Gotcha. Okay.
You see how many? My friend came over to watch the TV, watch the game with me,
Yeah.
the bingo. He said, "Hey, you got a lot of cat litter?"
Yeah.
I said, "I need it."
Yeah.
And
Yep.
the girl, the baby, what's his name?
Milo.
Yeah, Milo. I'm talking about the
Christy. Yeah, Christy's
Not
cat.
that one.
No.
No, I'm talking about the other cat, the black one.
Tiggy?
Oh no, the new one.
Felix. Felix.
Felix. It's named after some kind of cat cartoon.
Okay.
The guy got it today. I gave it to him.
Okay, good. Good. So hopefully he's got a good home.
I called him. I said, "Where's Felix?" He said he's under the bed. He said he's under the couch. I said, "That's gonna be normal."
Yeah,
he did
he's
it
got to
to me.
get used to it. Yeah, they got to adjust.
When I had it in my house,
Mhm.
you should see all three of my cats, but
Yeah, they throw a fit. Yeah, because it's a new cat.
especially Mitten
Oh,
is the
wow.
one doing it,
Yeah,
yelling and screaming.
I believe it.
The
Yes,
other
they
two
do.
wasn't doing it. Jack and TT wasn't really doing it. It was Mitten.
Oh my goodness.
Mitten.
Yeah.
So, Mitten said, I don't want
No
fucking
more
cat."
cats, Mom. What are you doing? He's only here temporarily. Chill out.
Yeah, but he almost scratched the shit out of me because I put him in the bathroom for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to tear Jack up and the baby up. He was
Oh,
getting mad.
crap.
He
Yikes.
wanted to fight.
Yeah, that ain't good.
So I pick him up and I had to hold him real fast because he turned around, he would have got my face.
Yeah.
He don't.
Mhm.
No, you're not. You're going in the bathroom for a little bit.
Yeah, until he chills out. Yeah.
I kept him in there for a little bit
Yeah.
because he was getting mad, saying, Mom, what are you doing with all these cats? Like you said, why is another cat in here?
Hmm. Yeah, they're because cats are territorial. So, anytime a new one's brought in, even if it is just temporary, they freak out. They get
But I
hissy and
was
growly
yeah.
and
I tried to
attack.
Yeah, I told all three of them that she's not staying. And
Mhm.
it's a male. That's a male cat.
Yeah,
just found out.
Felix. Yeah.
He's
Mhm.
a male.
Yeah.
So that's why they was getting. It didn't bother Jack that much, but it bothered the other two a little bit. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean-
Jack, I think he's just old enough now that he just don't.
don't give a shit.
Yeah, he don't care. He
But Tiki-
knows, that he's loved and he's got a
Tiki,
good home.
when she kind of got mad a little bit and did her little,
Uh-huh.
But Mitten, she did it too much.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why she did it like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, other than the territorial thing, and maybe she didn't like that there was another male in the house too.
But I told her it wasn't staying.
Yeah, I know. But sometimes, they get defensive. They get on the defensive, when they're brought into a situation like that. So you can tell them, you can try to explain to them, but whether or not they understand us, I don't always know. So I can't really say that they do. I hope that they do, or that Bass can get through to them and help them understand this is only temporary. But now that he's gone, they should settle back down again.
He did. They're back.
He went to his new home.
Mitten's back whole ways now.
She's back to herself. Yeah.
Back to herself.
There
But
you
if
go.
I bring another cat, she's the one who's gonna go off again.
Yeah.
She do not like it.
Yep. They usually don't. Like I said, they're very territorial. They don't like when other cats are brought in. They don't like it.
So he's at his new house now. So, and I'm glad.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope to God Paige do not have to get rid of her dog. She got rid of all the kittens, her 2 fucking cats. What's
Yeah.
the Venus?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that boyfriend of hers is he's not a good guy, and she should not let him have that much control over what she does and doesn't do,
I
because
think
that's
she
not
is,
right.
but she won't tell me. And
And
I
it's a
can't say
shame.
nothing to her.
Yeah, because it's her choice. It's still
Yeah.
her choice, and
I
that
could
makes
say,
it
I
difficult.
could say something, but she's just gonna get mad at me. She's gonna say, "Mom, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
This is my life."
Yep.
And that's exactly what's gonna come out of her mouth towards me.
Yeah. She just
but
glutton
if
for punishment, I guess,
if
and
she-
keeps
if
going back
she-
to him.
Like I told her, I am gonna tell her later on. If you're gonna get rid of your dog, you better call me, because that dog will stay with me. That boat has been in the family too long.
Yeah.
That's a family dog.
Yeah.
And I told her that. She said, "I know, Mom. That is a family dog."
Yeah.
So so I'm gonna tell her later. If she get rid of that damn dog, then you bring it to me.
Yeah.
The only the difference is, I'm gonna have a hard time taking that motherfucker out.
Yeah, because he's so
drags,
big.
He
Yeah.
drags me.
Yeah, because he's big.
And he's
got a
never
lot of-
been fixed.
He's got a strength to him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's never been fixed.
Right. That makes it more difficult
Now
too.
you can't blame me to take that damn dog. You
Right.
can't blame me. She
Oh
had
no.
that since it was a puppy like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, when we were that way with all the dogs we've ever had. I mean, Mom, she was very attached to her dogs when she had them, but she never had 2 at a time. Usually it was 1. She lost Frisky and Noodle first, and then she lost Bandit later. And Bandit was beautiful. He was a little Pomeranian. He was just had a beautiful color to him, and his tail curled up real cute and everything. Pomeranians aren't big. He was only about that
The
big.
thing is, I don't want to raise. I do not want to take care of dogs.
Yeah, dogs are hard.
I just don't
Dogs
want-
are hard
But-
because it's a lot more responsibility.
Yeah.
You have to take them out.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
if it comes down to it,
And you might, I don't know, is he a dog that likes to chew stuff up?
No.
Because you,
he grew out of that.
hopefully, because you
He's
don't
old
want him
now.
to like
He's
tear
getting
up a
older.
good pair of shoes or
No.
something.
He doesn't do that.
Good,
Mm-mm. No, he doesn't.
good.
No, he doesn't.
Wonder if Bianca's out there yet. Did she say how long where she was going to be out there? Or
I don't know. No, she didn't tell me how long. I just told her he was out there. She was out there. She said she would call me when she wants to come in.
okay,
Always.
okay, okay.
That's what I do.
Cool.
But I just hope she don't get rid of that dog. That's all.
Yeah, really. I know what you mean. I hope so too.
She got rid of just about all her animals.
Yeah, all she has is the dog and the ferret now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
does. It's
So
like-
God and Goddess, please let her keep her dog. Let her at least put her foot down with that and
Yeah.
tell him, no, you're not making me get rid of my dog.
Because that's the only, she had that since she was a little girl.
Yeah.
And that really would kill her. I mean, she's going to cry like a baby. I know she is.
Yeah. I can imagine because, we can't have dogs ourselves, so we know how much it would probably hurt,
Like I said, but I am going to tell her later on, if you get rid of that dog, you better call me. And that's all I'm going to tell her.
Yeah.
Just call me.
Yep.
Even though I don't want a dog,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd rather it come to me before somebody
To keep it in the family, yeah.
or somebody would treat it.
Yeah, treat it right and, because
Nobody ain't gonna treat
I don't think we know of anybody we could even begin to think would.
Nobody ain't gonna like
take a
that
dog.
That dog is mixed with pit bull,
Yeah.
but he don't act like a pit bull. You know that.
Yeah, he's got a gentleness about him.
Yes, he does.
Yep. Which is good, because really the way I understand it, the only thing that really makes pit bulls bad is if it's the owner. If the owner does stuff to them
Yep.
that makes them bad.
She never did nothing
Generally they're
bad.
not. I mean, I'm
She
not
never
afraid
did
of pit
that.
bulls,
She never treated bad. She never treated that dog bad.
Exactly.
She
So,
always told me that dog's my baby.
yep.
She said she always treated like a
Ow.
baby.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to it, I know who will take it.
Right. That's probably Bianca.
That's Bianca right now.
Yep.
Let me let her in. Hello? You're welcome. All right. I'm coming. Okay? Oh, we can let her in.
Yeah.
No, I can't do that.
Okay. Hopefully there won't be any more interruptions because I got a lot to read. The God and Goddess of Witchcraft. A general complaint about Christianity by witches is that there is the worship of the male deity to the exclusion of the female. In fact, this is one of the main reasons for people, women especially, leaving Christianity and returning to the old religion. And yet it is a strange paradox that many, if not the majority, witchcraft traditions are guilty of this. My top's getting all messed up here. Same crime of Christianity if in the reverse. They laud the goddess to the near or even total exclusion of the god. Witchcraft is a religion of nature, as any witch will tell you. Everywhere in nature there is male and female, and both are necessary. I have yet to meet anyone who does not have both a mother and a father. It follows then that both the god and the goddess are important and should be equally revered. There should be balance, but balance is as woefully missing in most traditions of the craft as it is in Christianity. We are all, every single one of us, made up of both masculine and feminine attributes. The toughest, most macho man has feminine aspects, just as the most traditionally feminine woman has male aspects. So it is with the deities. The god has feminine aspects as well as masculine, and the goddess has masculine as well as feminine. I will examine this in more detail in a later lesson. What names you use for your deities is a matter of personal preference. In Saxon witchcraft, the name Woden is given to the god. In Gardnerian, the Latin term Cernunnos is used. In Scottish, Devla. Each tradition has its own name, but names are only labels. They are only a means of identifying. You should identify then using a name with which you can feel completely comfortable. For, after all, religion is a most personal thing at the core, and to be of real purpose should therefore be related to on the most personal level possible. Even if you join an established tradition, this is still valid. Find a tradition that seems right for you, as I spoke about in Lesson 1. But do not be afraid to modify where necessary to make it totally right for you. If the name used to identify the god in the tradition you have chosen happens to be Cernunnos, for example, and you have difficulty relating to that name, then choose another for your own use. In other words, respect the name Cernunnos in group worship and all matters pertaining to the coven, but in your own mind and in personal rights, do not hesitate to substitute Pan or Manana or Leaf or whatever. A name, as I have said, is a label. The God himself knows you are talking to him. He is not going to be confused. This all applies equally to the goddess, of course. There can be surprises in discovering names used for the deities in different traditions. One very strongly Welsh tradition uses the name Diana for the goddess and Pan for the god. Diana, of course, was a Roman goddess, and Pan was a Greek god. Their connection with the Welsh must be one of the mysteries. It may well be for the above reason that the name Cernunnos is found in so many branches of the craft. As I have mentioned, it is simply the Latin word for the horned one. To add your own personal identification then in no way conflicts. Traditionally, the dark half of the year, see figure 2.1, is associated with the god, but this does not or should not mean that he is dead, or incommunicado in the light half of the year, and vice versa with the goddess. During the light half, he is fully active in his feminine aspect, just as the goddess is active in the dark half in her masculine aspect. So both deities are active throughout the year, even though deference may be given to one over the other at certain times. There is a common theme of death and resurrection found in myths throughout the world. The symbolism is frequently furthered in a descent to the underworld with a later return. We find it with Ishtar's descent and search for Tanaz, with Sif's loss of her golden tresses, with Idun's loss of her golden apples, with Yehoshua death and resurrection, with Shiva's death and resurrection, and many more. Basically, all represent the coming of fall and winter, followed by the return of spring and summer. The lead figure representing the spirit of vegetation. From witchcraft here is the myth of the goddess, as found in a Gardnerian Wicca and Saxon Wicca. Now, G had never loved, or goddess had never loved, but she would solve all the mysteries, even the mystery of death. And so she journeyed to the Netherlands. The guardians of the portals challenged her, "Strip off thy garments, lay aside thy jewels, for naught may ye bring with ye into this our land." So she laid down her garments and her jewels and was bound, and are all who enter the realms of Death, the mighty one. Such was her beauty that Death himself knelt and kissed her feet, saying, "Blessed be thy feet that have brought thee in these ways. Abide with me. Let me place my cold hand on thy heart." She replied, "I love thee not. Why dost thou cause all things that I love and take delight in to fade and die?" "Lady," replied Death, "it is age and fate, against which I am helpless. Age causes all things to wither, but when men die at the end of time, I give them rest and peace and strength so that they may return. But thou art lovely. Return not, abide with me." But she answered, "I love thee not." Then said Death, "And thou receive not my hand on thy heart. Thou must receive Death's scourge." "It is fate, better so," she said, and she knelt, and Death scourged her, and she cried, "I feel the pangs of love." And Death said, "Blessed be," and gave her the fivefold kiss, saying, "Thus only may ye attain to joy and knowledge." And he taught her all the mysteries, and they loved and were one. And he taught her all the magics. For there are three great events in the life of man: love, death, and resurrection, and a new body, and magic controls them all. For to fulfill love, you must return again at the same time and place as the loved one, and you must remember and love them again. But to be reborn, you must die, and be ready for a new body, and to die, you must be born, and without love, you may not be born. And these be all the magics. And that's the meaning of witchcraft. All day had Freya, most lovely of the goddesses, played and romped in the fields. Then did she lay down to rest. Quit, you two! And while she slept, deft Loki, the prankster, the mischief maker of the gods, did espy the glimmering of Brosengammon, formed of Galdra, her constant companion. Silent as night did Loki move to the goddess's side, and with fingers formed over the ages in lightness, did remove the silver circlet from about her snow-white neck. Straight away did Freya arouse, on sensing its loss, though he moved with the speed of the winds, yet Loki she glimpsed as he passed swiftly from sight into the barrow that leads to Dren. Then was Freya in despair. Darkness descended all about her to hide her tears. Great was her anguish. All light, all life, all creatures joined in her doom. To all corners were sent the searchers in quest of Loki, yet knew they found him not. For who is there may descend into Dren and return again from thence, excepting the gods themselves and, alack, mischievous Loki. So it was that, still weak from grief, Freya herself elected to descend in search of Brosengammon. At the portals of the barrow was she challenged, yet recognized and passed. The multitude of souls within cried joyfully to see her, yet could she not tarry as she sought her stolen light. The infamous Loki left no trail to follow, yet was he everywhere past seen. Those to whom she spake held to Freya that Loki carried no jewel as he went by. Where then was it hid? In despair she searched an age. Hyrden, the mighty smith of the gods, did arise from his rest to sense the bewailment of the souls to Freya's sorrow. Striding from his smithy to find the cause of the sorrow, did he espy the silver circlet where Loki, mischief maker, had laid it upon the rock before his door. Then was all clear. As Hyrden took hold of Brosengammon, then did Loki appear before him, his face wild with rage. Yet would Loki not attack Hyrden, this mighty smith, whose strength was known even beyond Dren. By wiles and tricks did he strive to get his hands upon the silver circlet. He shape-shifted, he darted here and there. He was visible, then invisible. Yet could he not sway the smith. Tiring of the fight, Hyrden raised his mighty club, then sped Loki away. Great was the joy of Freya when Hyrden placed Brosengammon once more about her snow-white neck. Great were the cries of joy from Dren and above. Great were the thanks that Freya and all men gave to the gods for the return of Brosengammon. Great. Now the phone's ringing. Don't know you? Go away. Reincarnation. Reincarnation is an ancient belief. It is part of many religions, Hinduism and Buddhism, for example, and was even one of the original Christian tenets, until condemned by the Second Council of Constantinople in 553 CE. It is believed that the human spirit or soul is a fragment of the divine. Eventually, it will return to its divine source. But for its own evolution, it is necessary that the soul experience all things in life. It seems the most sensible, most logical explanation of much that is found in life. Why should one person be born into a rich family and another into poverty? Why should one be born crippled, another fit and strong? If not because we must all eventually experience all things, Reincarnation seems the most logical explanation of child prodigies. A musical genius composing concertos at the age of 5, as did Mozart, is obviously carrying over knowledge from one lifetime into the next. This does not usually happen, but it can. In the same way, homosexuality might well be explained through reincarnation. A person male in one lifetime and then female in the next, or vice versa, might have carried over feelings and preferences from one life to the next. For someone who does not believe in reincarnation, it is difficult to understand the death of a child. What was the point of the child living at all, if only for a few short years? For the reincarnationist, it is obvious that the child had learned all that had been set to be learned in that particular lifetime, and so was moving on. A very good simile for this is the grades of a school. You enter school in a low grade and learn the basics. When you have mastered these, you graduate, take a short vacation, then come back into a higher grade to learn and experience more things. So it is in life. In each life, you have a certain amount to learn and to experience. When you have done that, you graduate, e.g., you die. To some, back into a higher grade, you are reborn in a new body. Occasionally, remembrance of previous lives, or parts of them, is experienced, but more generally, you do not remember. It is possible, of course, through such procedures as hypnoregression, to go back to previous lives and bring them once more to the surface. Perhaps one of the most common of occult experiences is that of deja vu. The feeling that something has happened before, so often attributed to reincarnation, though by no means is reincarnation the only possible explanation of all cases of deja vu, the feeling being a brief flash of memory of something that happened in a previous life. In what form do we return to the earth? Some believe, the Hindus, for example, that it is not necessarily in human form each time. Certain Hindu sects teach that the soul may be reborn as a plant or an animal. However, such beliefs are not generally held in Western civilization. Some say there is a progression from the lowest life forms to the highest, putting humans at the top. But then, who is to say the order? Is a dog higher than a cat? Or a cat higher than a dog? Is a centipede higher or lower than an earwig? Does this mean when every soul has finally passed up the scale and graduated, that in the afterlife there will be no plant, animal, or insect life? It seems unlikely. In witchcraft, the belief is that all things have souls. In Saxon witchcraft, for example, it is believed that a dog will go through many incarnations, but always as a dog. A cat always as a cat. A human always as a human. There is reason for all things to be here, what we term the balance of nature. It seems we certainly have a choice within our species of being either male or female in order to experience and appreciate the different aspects. One argument often put forward by non-reincarnationists is, if what you say is true, how do you explain the fact that the world population is continuously growing? Of course it is. So is the population of souls and spirits, or souls/spirits. There are not simply X number of souls who all started their development together. New souls are being introduced all the time. So we have so-called new souls, those on their first incarnations, and old souls, those who have been through a large number of lives. It is possible that eventually, when the gods decide enough souls have been introduced, there will be a stabilizing of the population, followed later by a decline, as old souls in their final incarnations make their graduations. There is yet another thought that might be considered here. Where do these souls originally come from, and where do they go after that final graduation? One possibility, of course, is that we not only experience lives here on Earth, but also on other planets and in other reality systems. Who knows? Perhaps we go through the cycle here, having already been through it a dozen times or more on other worlds. There is obviously much food for thought, very little, if any, proof of preferences, and great scope for new tenets. Retribution. Along with reincarnation go thoughts of karma. Karma is usually thought of as a reward and punishment system stretching throughout all lifetimes. If you do evil in one life, you will have to pay for it in the next. It seems, however, that there is always talk of karmic debts and karmic punishments, but seldom of karmic rewards. The witchcraft view seems to make more sense. First of all, there is a Wiccan belief in retribution within each life. In other words, rather than being rewarded and punished after death for what you have done in life, the traditional Christian view, which is believed that you get your rewards and punishments during this lifetime, according to how you live it. Do good and you will get back good, but do evil and evil will return. More than that, though, it is a threefold retribution. Do good and you will get back 3 times the good. Do evil and you will receive 3 times the evil. Obviously, there is here no inducement for you to ever harm anyone. Of course, it is not a literal threefold return. If you were to punch someone in the eye, it does not mean that you will get punched in the eye yourself 3 times. No, but sometime in the future you may just happen to break a leg. Something that might be considered 3 times as bad as being punched in the eye. In the witchcraft belief, then, one lifetime's experiences are not dependent on the previous ones. For example, if you suffer physical abuse in this life, it does not necessarily mean that you were an abuser in your previous life. Knock it off! It is possible. It is possible you were, yes, but it is just as possible that you were not, but are going to be in the next life. In other words, it is a case of experiencing all things, being both the abuser and the abusee, but one is not necessarily dependent on the other. Several lifetimes could even take place between the one experience and its apparent correlative. Just because you have chosen a particular lifetime and are to undergo the set experiences does not mean that you can just sit back and say everything is preordained. I'm just along for the ride. The god and the goddess will make sure that you do get all the particular experiences. But your job is to progress, to strive your hardest toward perfection. You create your own reality. Whatever you want, you can achieve. But always remember the Wiccan rede, and it harm none, do what thou wilt. Whenever possible, help those less fortunate than yourself. By help, I do not mean interfere. Help can be given by simply offering advice, by showing compassion, even sometimes by actually refusing direct assistance. For in this latter case, it is sometimes of the greatest help and to the other's benefit to make them give a little more effort, to make them think for themselves. Whenever possible, help those less fortunate than yourself. By help, I do not mean interfere. Help can be given by simply offering advice, by showing compassion, even sometimes by actually refusing direct assistance. For in this latter case, it is sometimes of the greatest help, and to the other's benefit, to make them give a little more effort, to make them think for themselves. And I reread that last section because my phone keeps ringing off the hook, and it's garbage calls. Between lives, and the cat, I was yelling at my cats because they're still fighting and causing a problem. Between lives, the length of time spent between lives may vary depending on your study of the lessons learned and their integration with previous lessons. Also on the necessary preparation for the next semester. While between lives, you might also become involved in helping some other spirit here on earth. Just as there is development and advancement in this life, so there is in the between times, you may have heard of such things as guardian angels and spirit guides and wondered if they really exist. In a sense, they do. It means that a spirit is always watching over a less developed spirit here on earth. Since time does not exist in the between times,
Come here, you
it
want.
is a human made concept. Ask him. So I think he was just talking about one. So for the sake of reference, yeah, he said one's fine.
Here.
Reference only. Than to watch over an earthbound spirit for its whole earthly lifetime would not actually hinder the watcher's progress. In fact, it would add to it in the same sense of gaining student-teacher experience, which is always hope that they will be reborn in the next life with those they have known and loved in this one. Yeah, I keep getting a lot of garbage calls, so I have to keep hanging up my phone. Let's see, where was I?
Witches.
Yeah. Student teacher experience, I think it was something like that. In fact, it would add to it in the sense of gaining student teacher experience, which is always hope that they will be reborn in the next life with those they have known and loved in this one. From psychic experiences, etc., it seems that this is often the case. Many times a couple will stay together throughout a number of lifetimes in different relationship roles, e.g., lovers, husband, wife, brother, sister, mother, daughter. Your temple. Although many witches meet and work outdoors, perhaps in the corner of a field or in a clearing in the wood, it is not always possible for everyone to do that. Many live in cities and towns and are unable to get out into direct contact with the earth. This does not mean they cannot function. Your temple can be an outdoor one or an indoor one. Let us look at indoor possibilities. Lessons. This whole book is lessons, and this is just lesson 2. And I'm reading lesson 2 because I try to read one each live stream because I don't know when Brooke's going to be able to watch it. So then it can kind of give her some stuff to build on too and learn as she goes. The area you need in which to perform your rituals and work your magic could be a whole building, a single room, or a small section of a room. Whatever its shape or size, this is your temple. A complete ritual room, perhaps in the basement or attic of a house, is the ideal. If you have such a room that can be turned into your temple and kept solely as that, you are very fortunate. Let us look at such possibility first and then work along to those who can only use a small part of their regular living quarters. First of all, take a compass and establish the alignment of the room. Mark the north, east, south, and west. Your altar is going to be placed in the center of the room, and it is preferable that it be set up so that when standing before it, you are facing east. You can keep an altar candle and your representations of the deities on the altar at all times, but more on that later. On the floor around the altar, you will be marking a circle, the exact dimensions and construction of which you will be taught in the next lesson. When entering and leaving the circle before and after a ritual, you will do so from the east. So if your room is rectangular rather than square, you might wish to leave extra room on that side. Closets for the storing of your craft supplies might also be placed in this larger area unless you live alone or share your beliefs with everyone in your home. You will need closets that can be locked. You will be storing candles, incense, charcoal, wine, and most importantly, your working tools and book. Of course, if you can lock the room itself, then it is possible to leave your altar permanently set up and have your supplies on open shelves. Actually, this is the better arrangement. This is just like a diagram of some possible ways to do it.
I found it.
You found it?
Yeah.
You found what? What did you find?
What you was talking about.
This? Oh, okay. See? Yeah, there they are. Yep, that's them. I think the gold one's pretty. Isn't that gold one pretty? $15.99. That's not too bad. It's roughly about the same price as the others. Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting one of those.
Yeah, the gold one.
And that one.
And then the double pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way you've got 3 of them. And, like I said, just try to find a more secure way, to
I'll wait
put
till I
like
get
a
it.
link. Yeah. Put a link in it so that it don't fall off anymore.
Yep, there goes the thing. Black right there. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's the other part right there.
Yep, because the only way that I know of that you could secure it properly if you wanted to keep using that piece is you would have to literally put it back through the hole of the pendant, but you lost the pendant, and then literally glue it on there. Like glue the fastener into it. So then after that, it shouldn't come off.
I'm gonna order both.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if we can do it through here, but I'll try.
No, don't do it there. You could do it on there.
Yeah, on there. Yeah, on here when I get done.
No, I just brought it
Live
up. I
streaming,
just
yeah.
said it. That's all.
Yeah, but that's not bad though, because the double pack, they're saying it's fluctuating between $13.99 and $14.99. If you want to get the gold one, it's just $1 more. So that's
I
not a
know.
big deal.
I know.
I think that's a good deal.
You want another a box?
No, one's
Oh.
fine. One's fine. So
So
I'm
I
glad
got
you
a lot.
found them. And does it say the name of it or no?
I don't know. That's the part I don't know.
Um,
That's the part you will know.
No, it doesn't. But it's okay. We know that that's it. And it's just considered the
It is
like
that.
the 7, 8.
It is
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that's the same one. Because
Okay.
look, I'm wearing mine.
It ain't you know who, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you just look at this, and then look at that.
Oh, it is.
It
okay.
is. It's the exact
Yeah.
same one.
Okay.
So yeah, it's safe. It's a safe one.
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
get that's separate, I think.
Yeah,
That's
that's
one.
by itself. Yeah, you have to
And
buy
these
that by
shoes
itself,
you
and
get-
that's the double pack. Yep.
So all together is what?
That would be $13.99, $15.99, but then you
But
have
it
to
says
figure.
7 something.
Yeah, it says 7%, minus 7%. So it's normally $14.99, but 7% they dropped it down to $13.99. That's all that
Oh,
is
okay.
stands for.
Okay.
So it would just be a matter of taking the $13.99, the $15.99, adding them up. But then you have to, you don't know what taxes they're going to charge and shipping or anything like that. So it's really hard to determine, predetermine until you're actually doing the act of ordering them. Then you'll be able to tell, okay, this is how much it's charging in taxes and stuff for you. So then it'll have a definitive amount.
I was gonna give you the money.
Well, you can do it, but you got to remember, if you do the money, it's better to do the card, because if you do the money, I would have to load it onto a card.
Oh, no.
So that's too much of a pain.
No.
But yeah, I would use the card. You
I
said
know.
use your PNC card.
Yeah, that's all.
So
I do like that gold one right there.
I do
I
too.
didn't- I
I'd
didn't
love
know-
to have a gold one. I think it's real pretty.
I didn't know they had a gold one. I know they had a black one.
But I will
Still.
definitely caution you.
You don't know that person.
No, I do not. And I wish they
Well,
would
you
stop
can't-
calling me.
They do it to me now. I do the same thing.
Garbage calls. I'm
What'd you
telling
say?
you, if that's going to be my Valentine's Day all day, I might as well turn my phone completely off. Because then they can't call me if my phone's not on. Yeah, it's mostly been garbage calls, but Michael did get to
I'll
call.
be back.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So that's a lot to take in, and I don't know how many more pages I have in here. Quite a bit. Let's see. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 pages yet to before it gets to the questions. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this live stream going and go fix me some brunch, because I had a bowl of cereal earlier, but it just didn't quite fill me up much. And Chris is laying down, so I have to keep my voice down. Hey, boo-boo, you guys need to quit fighting. I mean, seriously. I don't think you'd like it, Helen. my head. That was not good. Go ahead and eat, baby. Go ahead and eat. Go ahead. You can eat. You can eat, Bella. Look out. No, baby, I'm not doing milk. Mommy's not doing milk this time. You can eat, baby. You can eat. You that. You quit fighting. Yeah, yeah. But you quit fighting. Valentine's Day. Sorry for all the interruptions today. My phone's not ringing off the hook. Somebody's knocking on the door. This is why I need an office where I can be left alone when I'm trying to do my work. I have found in the past, if I don't put my glasses on my head or take them off altogether when I'm eating, I end up getting stuff all over them. Knock it off, you guys! Boo! Leave him alone! Boo! Don't make me come in there. Valentine's Day and the cats are fighting. Leave him alone, Boo! Quit. Baby, come in here and lay down somewhere. Maybe lay up here on the couch with Mommy. Or lay up on your table. Boo is just doing what is normal for a male when there's another male. That doesn't mean I'm just going to sit back and let him do it. Because we can no longer safely let Bella outside like we normally would do. Because of a neighbor, I will give no names because I will not dignify him in such a way. Across the hall from us, that not only is he a Trump supporter, which I hate, but he has been lying to people and saying that Bella is a stray and he's looking for a home for him, which he has absolutely no right saying that to anybody because it's an outright lie, because Bella is not a stray. He's our cat. And I think the neighbor is just mad because he can't have him and he's already got a cat, but he's had a Maine Coon before and Bella is a Maine Coon or has a lot of Maine Coon in him. So I think that the neighbor is just mad because he can't have him. So he reasons that if he can't have him, nobody can. And this said neighbor has been told multiple times, Bella is not a stray. He is our cat. He just happens to be used to being out and being an indoor-outdoor cat. So we're trying to allow him to do that and be that. But now we have to forcefully keep him inside. We can't let him out in the hall anymore. We can't let him outside, meaning outside the building. because we don't trust that the neighbor is going to grab him and give him to somebody else. So it's a pretty touchy subject around here. Because our cats are our babies. They're our children. They're just not human children. And they're every bit as important to us as human children. So we don't need stupid jerk neighbors telling lies and trying to get one of them taken away from us. I'm gonna go put this plate in the sink and rinse it out so I'm not feeding the roaches. You need to leave Bella alone, boo. Well, hopefully there won't be any more interruptions. Neighbors wanting to visit at the worst possible time when I'm right in the middle of a live stream and I'm trying to get something done and I can't do that because I have to keep stopping to talk to them. Decoration of the temple room is a matter for individual taste. It can vary from all walls being done in a neutral color to vivid, realistic murals being painted. There are temples varying from those that look like prehistoric caves, complete with reproductions of the early cave paintings, to those that look like a clearing in a forest with trees all around and stars on the ceiling above. Others, usually those oriented exactly north, south, east, and west, follow the magical symbolic colors, with the north wall painted green, the east yellow, the south red, and the west blue. Obviously, before any decoration or use of the room, it should be thoroughly cleaned. The floor, walls, and ceiling should be scrubbed with sea salt added to the water and cleaning agent. It is not necessary to do any elaborate cleansing ceremony at this point, since the circle will be consecrated before each and every ritual you perform in it. Once any decoration of your room is finished, however, other than the actual marking of the circle itself, you should do an initial purification as follows. This should be done on the night of the new moon. Fill a dish, a saucer will do, with water, and kneeling, place it on the floor in front of you. Place your right forefinger, left if you are left-handed, into the water. Imagine a bright white light streaming down from above into the crown of your head. Feel it surge through your entire body and then direct it down your arm. Concentrate all your energies to send it down your arm, down the finger, and into the water. It may help to close your eyes. When you feel you have directed all the power you can manage into the water, keep your finger there and say, "Here do I direct my power, through the agencies of the god and the goddess, into this water, that it might be pure and clean, as is my love for the Lord and the lady." Now take a teaspoon full of sea salt and pour it into the water. Stir it 9 times clockwise with your finger and 3 times say, "Salt is life, here is life, sacred and new, without strife." Take the dish of salted water and sprinkle it. Use your fingers to sprinkle in each and every corner of the temple room. If the room is irregular, its shape, with alcoves and closets, sprinkle every corner of every alcove and closet also. As you sprinkle, say one of the below or make up something of your own along these lines. Ever as I pass through the ways, do I feel the presence of the gods. I know that in aught I do, they are with me. They abide in me, and I in them forever. No evil shall be entertained, for purity is the dweller within me and about me. For good do I strive, and for good do I live. Love unto all things, so be it forever. Or, soft is the rain, it gently falls upon the fields beneath. It lulls the heart, it stills the wind, gives solitude I seek. It patters down so gentle yet, it nary does bend a leaf. And yet the water that is there will wash away all grief. For smoothness follows in the wake, and quiet and peace and love are all around in freshness new, come down from clouds above. All evil go, flow out from here, and leave all fresh and plain. Let negativity not come into this room again. For love I now find all around, so soft, so still, so sure. I can perform my rituals as peace and quiet endure. Now light some incense, stick incense or cones will do, but you will find that for ritual and magical work, it is better to burn powdered incense on a charcoal briquette and a hanging censer. More on this below. Go again about the room, this time swinging the censer in each and every corner. Again say the lines you said when you sprinkled the water. But what if you do not have a whole room to dedicate as a temple? That is all right. You can take the corner of any room, living room, bedroom, or kitchen, and make that your temple. Again, let us look at the ideal first. An area at least 5 feet square is needed. You might like to arrange rails and curtains so that the area can be curtained off from the rest of the room. Though this is not a necessity, you may paint this section of the wall differently from the rest of the room to suit your desires. If you can choose an area in the east, it is preferable. Keep your working tools and supplies locked away in any convenient place. But here in your temple area, keep your altar. You may keep it pushed up against the wall when not in use, if you wish. On the altar, always keep an altar candle, generally white, but as we progress, you will learn of other colors and their times for use. And your representations of the deities. These can be either statuettes or pictures, as outlined below. This temple area should be cleaned, sprinkled, and censed in the same way as the full room temple detailed above. The last consideration is for the person who perhaps has a very small apartment or who shares a room with someone not necessarily sympathetic to the craft. Again, there should be no problem. The main thing is to have somewhere to lock away your working tools. If you can have an altar and leave it set up with candle and deity figures, you can put it anywhere convenient in the room. Again, the east is preferable. Try to keep your roommates from using it as a coffee table catch-all if you can. If it is not possible to have a regular altar, specially made or adapted and kept for ritual use, then you can get by using a coffee table or similar furniture. In this case, keep your deity figures wherever convenient, on a table, shelf, or sideboard. They should be respected by your roommates in the same way that you would respect their or anyone else's crucifix or Virgin Mary figure or whatever, should they have such. When you are able to do your rituals, presumably alone, all you need do is clear enough floor space anywhere convenient and set up your circle altar, etc. Afterward, you will have to clear everything away again. There are many full covens who meet regularly in one-room apartments. A little light furniture moving and a circle can be cast and a ritual enjoyed. So you see, there is nothing to prevent you from having a temple. One final word, as mentioned earlier, some witches/covens hold their rituals outdoors. In fact, the majority certainly prefer this, though it is not always possible due to 1, lack of a site, or 2, unsuitable weather. If you are lucky enough to have access to a small clearing in the woods or any piece of ground where you can be private, then do not hesitate to use it. There will be no need for the cleansing ritual detailed above.
Yeah.
You will proceed as will be shown in Lesson 3, Circles of Power and Protection.
Oh, thanks.
Your altar and its furniture. Chris was trying to lay down and then somebody called on his phone. So I don't know who it was and I don't know what it was all about. And I'm pausing because I didn't know if he was going to share with me what it was about. I thought he hung up from talking to him, but it sounds like he's still talking to him. You can use virtually anything as an altar. If you are holding your circle outside, then a large rock or a tree stump is ideal. If you're indoors, then you can use a small coffee table, a wooden box, or even some boards resting on bricks. It is better to have an altar that does not contain any steel, so a ready-made table is not really the best unless glued or pegged together. If there has to be metal in the table, brass is acceptable. Why is this? It has to do with conductivity. The witch's knife and sword and wand, if used, are the only tools that are used for storing and directing energies. They then can be of a conducive metal, iron, or steel. All other items should be non-conducive, silver, gold, brass, stone, wood, since they are not used in that fashion. So what's going on?
Dad's being released. Most likely today, but possibly tomorrow. They called me because they said they don't have a number for Kim. So after they called me about that, I called Mom and asked her to let Kim or Katrina know about releasing him, and that if they wanted to swap out as emergency contact, so that the hospital doesn't keep contacting me all the time. Because I've already got your mom, got Nora.
I know,
And then
you're
I
trying to lay down and now your phone's ringing off the hook.
And I got my own damn extra health issues now
Yeah,
I'm dealing with.
understandable. Sorry your nap got interrupted or rest or whatever. But look at me. I've been trying for a couple of hours now to get this section read through. But why not have a little aestheticism with your altar? Why not do things properly? You are working in a circle, so why not a circular altar? To me, a rectangular altar in a circle always looks somewhat incongruous. This is one of the reasons a tree stump is so ideal. In fact, a beautiful altar can be made by putting legs on a section of tree trunk. The legs should be glued on. One such altar I have seen was made truly beautiful by the maker, a craftsman in both senses, carving figures of the god and the goddess into the legs. The altar furniture consists of a candle or candles, incense burner known variously as a censer or thurible, 2 dishes, one for salt and one for water, libation dish or goblet, or goblets, you can do more than one, and figures to represent the deities. Of course, this is not a hard and fast list. Feel free to add subtract according to your needs. It is understood also that individual traditions dictate certain items, e.g., Gardnerian has cords and a scourge. Most witches do their thing in the evenings, not a necessity, of course, and so illuminate with candles around the circle and on the altar. A candle on the altar is also helpful so that you can read from the book of rituals. Whether you have one candle or two is up to you. An incense burner is pretty much a necessity. Incense has been used in religious rites for thousands of years. The old belief was that the smoke of the incense carried your prayers up to the gods. Certainly, it adds immeasurably to the atmosphere of the ritual. Since there is frequent need to move the incense burner about the circle, e.g., to cleanse or sense the circle itself during the consecration part of a ritual, a simple dish to hold a cone or stick of incense is not ideal. It is far better to have a hanging or swinging censer. These can be bought or can be made. A special charcoal briquette is then placed in the censer and lit. Then powdered incense is sprinkled on the charcoal. This is much more economical than burning cones or sticks, and one briquette will burn for 2 hours or more. Both briquettes and powdered incense can be bought at most church supply stores. There is nothing against cones or sticks, of course, if you prefer them. Choose an incense that you enjoy, nothing too sweet and sickly. If you feel you must have a specific incense for a particular ritual, fine. But generally, I find it does not make any difference which ones you use. I personally enjoy a good sandalwood or frankincense, or one of the better high altar mixtures of the Christian church. Incidentally, if you have nothing else, you can burn incense in any saucer-like vessel. If you are using charcoal briquettes and are afraid of the vessel cracking, simply fill it with sand, and that will absorb the heat. Now, the rest of these pages is metric equivalents when making your altar, and I'm not going to go into all of that and everything. So if you want to know what that is, on page 32 and 33, you'll have to get the book yourself. Salt and water dishes are found on most witch altars. Salted water represents life. Salt itself symbolizes semen, as is detailed in an interesting essay by Ernest Jones titled The Symbolic Significance of Salt. Baptismal water or holy water is nothing more than salt and water. The dishes you use can be of any type. Some people even use seashells as containers. During rituals, it is usual to drink some wine or fruit juice if alcohol is not possible. To toast the gods, a libation is always poured first. When meeting outdoors, this can simply be poured on the ground. But when indoors, the best and usual way is to pour the offering into a dish, the libation dish. Later, after the ceremony, the dish can be taken outside and the wine poured out on the ground. Like the salt and water dishes, the libation dish can be of any type. The wine goblets of the priest and priestess stand on the altar. Those of the other celebrants are placed on the ground at their feet. Again, the goblet can be to suit yourself. It could be simply a glass, or it could be a decorative drinking horn. The latter can be made from cow horns, obtainable from handicraft stores, with stands either separate or attached, made from bent silver or copper wire, or from wood. Some witches refer to their goblet as a chalice, but to my mind, this smacks of the Eucharistic cup of Christianity, so I tend to avoid it. Some witches do not care to have deity figures on their altar. The majority, however, do. You can seek out actual statues, though good ones are not easy to come by. Copies of Botticelli's Birth of Venus, irreverently known as Venus on a half shell, are ideal for the goddess. Many witches search for years to find a statuette that exactly fits the mental image they have of the deity. Antique stores and flea markets and swap meets seem to be the best places to look. Some Wiccans use symbols, such as a seashell for the goddess and an antler for the god. I have seen candles used, also various chess pieces, rocks, plants, etc. One possibility is pictures. I have seen beautiful deity representations made by decoupaging appropriate colored pictures to attractive pieces of wood. If you have the talent, of course, there is no reason why you should not sculpt or draw your own figures. Magic and introduction. Magic will be dealt with in detail later in lesson 11. There you will learn all the many and varied forms of magic and their workings. Here, however, I would like to take a quick look at some of the rudiments of magic, the basics. First among these is timing. You may know that the moon is frequently associated with witchcraft, but you may not know why. One of the reasons is that the phases of the moon are important to the proper workings of magic. The two main phases are as follows. The time from the new moon through the first quarter to the full moon is known as the waxing moon. From the full through the last quarter to the new is known as the waning moon. When the moon is growing in size, it is waxing. When it is decreasing in size, it is waning. Basically, constructive magic for growth is done during the waxing cycle, and magic for destruction is done during the waning cycle. Constructive magic would include such things as love, success, protection, health, fertility. Destructive magic would include such things as binding spells, separation, elimination, extermination. There is a certain element of sympathetic magic just in this time of working. For example, as the moon grows, so grows the opportunity or whatever for which you are working. Or as the moon dwindles, so declines the bad habit you are trying to overcome, or the wart you are trying to remove. The second basic of magic is feeling. You must want whatever you are working at to really happen. You must want it with all your being. You must put every infinite particle of power into that desire, that urge for the act to come to pass. For this reason, it is usually far more effective to do magic for yourself than to do it on someone else's behalf. It is seldom that another person can feel as intensely about something as the one directly concerned. This strong feeling is, in effect, the raised power used in magic. As an aid, a booster to your power, there can be used a number of amplifiers. One of these is, get the page turned, chant, and another is rhyme. Carpal tunnel causing me trouble. The rhythmic chanting of a spell with a solid regular beat can do much to intensify your feeling and thereby increase your power. Similarly, dancing can raise the power, and so can a number of other treatments, including sex, all of which will be discussed in detail in Lesson 11. One other aspect might be mentioned here. When performing magic, it is advisable to have a clean body. This means cleansed externally and internally. Bathe the body with a spoonful of sea salt added to the water. This can be bought at most supermarkets or, failing that, at health food stores. Also prepare the inner body by the removal of toxins. This is done by fasting for 24 hours before working magic. No alcohol, no nicotine, and no sexual activity. Whenever doing magic, always consider the Wiccan Rede. Will your action harm anyone? If the answer is yes, do not do it. More later. So that's quite a bit to wrap the brain around. And now for the questions. I will try to read them slowly and give each of you a chance to write them down if you so desire. If I still speak them too quickly, then you can always pause the live stream and get each section as you need. Question 1. This lesson deals with beliefs. Examine your present beliefs on reincarnation. Do you have any past life memories? I'm pausing to give the person a chance to write it down. 2. Construct or draw an altar table, indicate what will be placed on it, and show their arrangement. Construct a diagram of a temple that would be ideal for your needs. Indicate the area that would best reflect your affinities, outside and inside. What actual items would you like it to contain? Make this a realistic layout of what your temple will actually be like. Question 4. List some examples of magical workings appropriate for your needs that you would do during the waxing cycle of the moon. Excuse me. 5. List examples of magic you would do during the waning cycle of the moon. Now, those that I just read were lesson 2 questions, but then there is examination questions for lesson 2 as well. They are as follows. 1. Study the 2 goddess myths given in the lesson and examine their symbolism. In the Saxon myth of Freya, what does the necklace Brosengamen represent? Number 2. What are the 3 essentials of magic? Number 3. Have the Christians ever believed in reincarnation? Number 4. According to craft beliefs, if you do an injury to someone, will you be able to wait until after death before being punished? Does that mean the same injury will be done to you in your next life? 5. Imagine that you share an apartment with a roommate who is not in the craft. You have your own bedroom, but must share kitchen and living room. Is it possible to have your own temple? If so, where would be the best place? 6. From which direction do you enter the ritual circle? 7. North, south, east, west. Blue, green, red, yellow. Which color goes with which direction? 8. Which of the following could be used for an altar? A. Folding metal card table. B. Wooden packing crate. C. 2 concrete blocks and a piece of plywood. D. Tree stump. 9. What is the Wiccan reed? 10. Can you use a glass ashtray for a censer? Please read chapters 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9 of The Lost Gods of England by Brian Branston. Recommended supplementary reading, Witchcraft Today, Gerald B. Gardner. And that's it for that, for lesson 2. So I'm sorry I went through the second set of questions a little fast, but like I said, you can always pause it each, fragment whenever you need to get the information written down and everything correctly. And, if you want to share your answers with me on a future live stream, you can, but it's not necessary. It might be something, I don't know, not necessarily private, but some people like to share it, others not, and either is okay. It's not a major necessity that you share your answers with me, I wish my nose would stop itching. So either my nose is itching, I'm sneezing, the phone's ringing off the hook, or people are knocking on the door. Quite a active Valentine's Day. More active than I like, but especially when I'm doing a live stream, that's why it would be so nice to have my own private little room, private little space that I could do my live streams, that I could lock so that nobody could bother me while I'm doing one, and I could, get it done, because constant interruption can change your perspective. It can change your feelings. Like, I don't want to be sharing a lesson with somebody and then get angry and not want to complete the lesson because people keep bothering me when I really just want to be left alone because I'm trying to get my live stream done and I am working. I'm not getting paid for it, but if it'll help somebody, if it'll give them a way to start on their own path to finding out if Wicca is for them or if witchcraft is for them or if it isn't, because you can be a practitioner and not consider yourself a witch. You can do magic spells and not. You don't have to be a witch to do magic spells. The main thing is if you are a witch and do magic spells, then your spells could probably maybe be more powerful, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't be equally powerful if you didn't consider yourself a witch or you weren't a witch. Me, I was drawn to the craft very early, all the way back to when I was still in school and where I would come home with endless stacks of books on magic and swear up and down that I was going to read through every single one of them, and I never did. I was lucky to get through one. And I can't just read through a book. I would read a section, I would see a good spell and be like, ooh, and then write it down. And then it takes so much longer to read. Just read the book through and then go back and go, okay, I like this one, kind of like the equivalent of taking notes. But just as an afterthought, Brooke, sweetie, whenever you see this, sorry for all the interruptions, because you're probably one of the few that will actually watch it. I don't know how busy Holly is right now with her stuff, so I know that if she can get around to it and watch it, great. If not, that's okay too, because I get it. Everybody has different lives. Everybody has busy times. Today's Valentine's Day. Me and Chris aren't doing anything special, so I thought I could at least get on here and do something. This isn't, of course, what I just did. It's not Valentine's Day related, but as you could witness, Maria, it's just her timing is really, really bad. And if I say, Maria, can we do this later, please? Because I'm trying to do a live stream and you keep interrupting it. And I'm not trying to be mean or hurtful or anything like that. And I'm not in a bad mood, but I can get there very quickly because what I'm trying to do is being disrupted. When I'm doing my lessons like this and I'm reading the cards from the nature book here, I don't want interruptions. I don't want my phone ringing off the hook. I don't want people knocking on my door. Because then it just upsets the good energy that I'm trying to keep around while I'm doing something that I consider very positive and educational and uplifting. And, my hope is too that maybe, after a few of me reading a few of these lessons, that some of you will be inspired to literally go out and get Buckland's Blue Book, because it's very well known. It's called Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft, but us witches refer to it as Buckland's Blue Book. I call it Buckland's Big Blue Book because it's a sizable book. It's not tiny. Time for some pagan mix, because that was a lot, to read and wrap one's brain around and figure out, how they can maybe start constructing their own temple or whatever, I feel bad for Chris because, he was trying to lay down and then somebody's calling him on the phone and it was about his dad. So we have that worry and stress going on that, what's going to happen next. Because it seems like his dad is just in the hospital every month. Every month it's something new, or it's something repetitive, that some certain action that keeps happening, or I don't know what. Things keep going wrong, and I don't want Chris to have to attend his dad's funeral, in which case we would both definitely be there for that. But it involves a 20-hour drive because I would have to ride down with him. but only after we established that somebody down there would be willing to let Chris have use a vehicle that runs. I think his dad's got a truck or something, but he would need a way to get around down there, or if nothing else, he could get around on his bike. But I don't know what the weather would be like down there, and that's hopefully very, very far into the future. But if I have to ride down there with him in the car and somebody down there says, yeah, you can use dad's truck or dad's car, or we'll set you up with a car while you're down here or something. Because if it came down to rental cars or something, he wouldn't be able to do it because he'd probably be down there for at least several weeks. And in which case I would have to drive back by myself, unless Maria went with us, and then she could, help keep me awake. But still, it would be a 20-hour drive. That's like 4 hours away from 24 hours we'd be gone. Because if we're driving down or riding down with Chris to get him down there, there's not going to be anybody to watch her cats while she's gone. And we're going to be gone a lot of hours, far more than if it was just a typical work day for Maria. She works a 4-hour shift and comes home. Big, big difference when you put 20 in front of the 4. So I would worry about her cats. She would worry about her cats. I would worry about our cats. And, you'd have to put down extra food and water, and nobody would be here to clean the litter box for several hours. And when you got 4 cats indoors, it's going to be messy. It's definitely, I would probably have to clean the litter box as soon as we got back. For sure. We took the lid off of our litter box in the hopes that it'll be easier for Bella to use the bathroom, and he'll stop peeing and pooping everywhere in the apartment that he shouldn't, because he's mad because he can't go outside anymore. No thanks to that stupid neighbor of ours and his crap that I talked about earlier. Same neighbor. I wish he would just move. Or I wish that this home situation would finally get sorted and we could actually, get our paperwork finally back from the jerks that we've been waiting to get it from and haven't for several months. And this is like the 3rd time I think that Krista sent the paperwork, and he hasn't even finished it yet because it's a lot to keep going through over and over and over again just to have them not even bother to so much as give us a call and try to work it out with us and try to arrange it, to where they could get us what we need so that we can move. Because we move into the house, the 40-acre place, or whatever one it ends up being. 40-acre would be preferable, but whatever one we end up getting, if we get one at all. And I mean, I want to have hope, but at the same token, it's there. What are we going to have to do to make it happen? Because everything that that Chris has tried to do so far is about the limit of what we can do. And if they're not going to bother to even have the decency to give us any kind of an answer or give us what we need, then we're kind of lost. What are we going to do then? We want to get out of here. We're tired of the city. We get into a house. There will be a room. I will go through the whole house, and it will be my top. I get the first one to pick. And then Chris, if he wants a special room himself for his temple, he can do that. That's totally up to him. But I will have a room that will be my temple in that house. And when the red X is on the outside of my door taped to it, do not bother me. Because that means I'm in there meditating, doing ritual work, doing spell work, maybe getting some concoctions made to sell. I'm doing a live stream. I'm, doing lessons for people and trying to help them on their path, and whatever that ends up being. But there's just so many misconceptions out there flying around all the time in the world. You don't know what to believe. You don't know what to go by. Well, I say, what does your heart tell you? Go by your heart. If it feels right in your heart, then as far as, okay, I believe this is my path, you have to really feel it deep within your soul too, and in your mind. You have to really feel it on all levels possible as a human earthbound shell on the earth plane. I would go into more detail about the astral plane and the spirit plane, but to me, they are. I want to say one and the same, but I guess they're really not, because a lot of times astral, you're not dead. It's just a part of your essence, a part of your soul, your life consciousness is exit from your body, but it's attached to a silver cord, and so you can virtually go anywhere. The cord will extend however far it needs to get you where you're trying to go, or what you're trying to see, or who you're trying to meet up with on the earth, on the astral plane. Spirit plane to me is the final plane, because that is death itself. That's when you give up your earthly shell and you go down the tunnel to the light at the end, or whatever you perceive to be. Okay, I'm dead, and where's the white light, or where's the tunnel that everybody talks about, that I suddenly find myself in, and I see others walking towards this beautiful bright light. Follow, because that means it's heaven. It's whatever you perceive to be heaven, and keep that in mind as you're walking down the tunnel, so that it can be adjusted to look the way you anticipate it to look. What would be heaven to you? What would it look like? Would it be an exact copy of King Arthur's castle, which a lot of people say he doesn't exist, he did exist, who knows? But if you believe in something strongly enough, that in essence can manifest a presence that very much feels like what you would anticipate the actual King Arthur to be, what kind of person he was. Was he a good king? Did he truly love his people? Did he have a forced, secretive, incestuous relationship and get his sister pregnant, and then they were never to know about each other, and then they find out later, as go a lot of the Arthurian legends, movies I've seen about it and whatnot, that King Arthur and his sister were tricked into mating, and the child that resulted from that was a very powerful child, but it was born out of incest, so that was wrong. Yet royalty, I don't know about now, but eons ago, let's say, it was not uncommon for intermarriages to go on, like brothers and sisters to marry to keep the bloodline going, and for brothers and sisters to have those type of relations. But me personally, I would never want to be part of something like that. And there seems to be a lot of it in different members in my family, from histories of them that I know, and ways that they have lived their lives. Some of them are dead, some of them are still here. I won't give any names because it's too painful to, but I will say this, and I've said this before many times on other live streams, my grandparents are all gone. I don't have any more. My grandparents are all gone. My dad, my biological dad, is gone, or biological father. My mom, she's still here. Bless her. She's 90 years old. She's still with us. She's still kicking and, raising a ruckus and growling and snapping and yarning at people when she feels like it. And at least something kind of nice to hear her say, when it was just her and I sitting there and nobody else was around, so they couldn't take it wrong or throw it out of context or anything like that. That, yeah, I know that I'm grumpy sometimes, but I'm old. It happens, Stop judging me by it. Okay, well, I can see that to a point, but that doesn't make it any easier to deal with when the grumpies come on. Because when I'm having a bad day, a lot of times I just try to social distance myself, because I don't want to bring others down. I don't want to weigh them down with my problems and my troubles and whatever. I try to get through them. I'm a soldier. I'm a Capricorn. I must drudge on. I must go on. I must go on. I must fight. I must, find it within me to renew my strength when I need it, so that I can keep going, so that I can get through another day and be a strength for my family as best as I can. But hearing from Michael today was nice. I got it on a live stream, so that's going to make this one even more special as far as Valentine's Day. And I'm just sorry that we really don't, me and Chris don't have any money so that we could go out and do something nice, together, like go to a park or something, have a picnic, which is like one of our favorite things to do when the weather's warmer. And right now it's not. It's the middle of winter. How many people are you going to see sitting out at a park, at a park bench? Not me. There might be enough bold witches out there to go, oh, come on, it's just snow. Uh-huh. And the last time it was just snow, and I came with a magical group, and we went through the forest. I got waylaid by the fairies, and I didn't appreciate it because I didn't do anything to deserve it. I was not with them when they were the stupid ones and opened that portal and left it open for a year. I didn't know any of those people, I don't think, when I went. I just happened upon it, and I was like, I think I know where that park is, and I went. And it was in bulk. It was, I don't remember what year. I even took fairy dust. Maybe I should have given them the fairy dust at the beginning instead of the end. I waited until the end and gave it to them as an offering. But I was still fairly, even then, to me, I was newer to the craft than I am now. I'm 32 years into it now. So, and that's going all the way back to what I consider the first true witchly thing that happened. And that was my own coming into my power when I was 13. The All Hallows Eve of my 13th year, which I think I figured was like 1983, somewhere around there. I don't know. It's, you got to do the math in your head, and sometimes it takes a minute. Other times I'm like, oh, just go back 20 years, and that's about where it is, But I was 13. I remember it was in the 80s, and it was quite interesting. I'll never forget it, considering I almost burnt my room down, and I know I've talked about that on other live streams. It's one of my favorite stories, but it's also an educational one. Don't be stupid and do what I did. If you're going to burn candles like that, burn them in a heat-proof dish. Don't burn them on a plastic table and then get so deeply in a trance that the candle is no more, and the flame is burning a hole in the middle of the table, and there's another plastic table underneath. Don't use plastic tables. If you're going to use plastic tables, put them in a fireproof thing. Depending on if the candle is a wax stripper or not, you may have to put a fairly big something underneath it to catch the wax, like a big bowl or saucer or something that you could, get the wax out of later, and like bury some of it in the yard or bury some of it off your property, depending on the type of spell or ritual you just used. And I decided to be a blonde today because I trimmed my bangs recently and they look funny. So I was like, I just left my hair down, and, so this looks just natural. Like, I've got multi lengths of hair, but I also brushed some of the purple dye or the blue violet dye from my splat kit, because I did do the ends of this wig. Some of the ends I did with the purple dye, and I just left it on there, let it dry on there, because I wanted to see if it would take on a wig just by applying it, or if there was, obviously, how do they get these colors? Well, apparently there is a certain process that must be gone through depending on the type of color you're trying to achieve. Like, I have a black and green wig. I have this blonde wig with like reddish highlights, I think, or something or another. But because the lighting sucks, you can't really detail wise, you can't really see the color of the wig, but it's really pretty. And it was really long. It was like all the way down to the end of my spine. And me and Naomi got matching wigs. They were both blonde. One of them was highlighted with red, which I think this one is. The other was highlighted with more like a reddish brown or something of that nature. The first day we bought them, we went to the Hollywood Casino, and I remember it made it very easy to find her, because, if I had to go use the bathroom or something and I left her at one of the slots, but then she could get up and move to another one, usually she'd say, no, I'll stay right here. I'll stay right here at this slot till you get back, because that place is huge. I don't know how many of you have been in it, but it's huge. And that's one thing I'm sorry we didn't get to show Brooke that she probably would have got quite the kick out of. because it's like walking onto a movie set. I swear, it was like walking into like the most elaborate hotel you could possibly imagine in Los Angeles, California, where all the celebrities stay. Okay, it was that kind of. When you walked in there, you didn't suddenly feel so much like a muggle as a VIP, you know, of some sort, a celebrity, high ranking person in your company, or, there's many variations. But I wanted to kind of dress up a little bit, because it's Valentine's Day today, and then I have my lovely red coat here. Well, robe. But my glasses, I don't usually really need unless I'm reading. But then I have to take it off this way because it gets caught up in the wig, and then it gets caught up in my regular hair, and it just makes it so much more difficult to get it off of me without it getting stuck in the hair, either the wig or my real hair. So, but when I don't need them, I do try to take them off and put them in their case. Now, if it was just my regular hair, it wouldn't be such a big deal because I could just put them on top of my head. I'm trying to think of some other possible things I could do for. What I could do on here that would be, like good content and something Valentine's Day related. Yeah, I could talk about past good times that me and Chris have had, and different things that we try to do, but a lot of times, most of the time, it's just the money's just not there. Or like right now, it's even harder to go out and do a whole lot because the weather is so bad. Because we have like the worst winters and the worst summers here where we're at. The summers are equally brutal to the winters. In the summertime, you get a lot of really hot, yucky days. In the wintertime, got some pop on my finger. Just trying to wipe it off. This poor couch, we got it for $20 at a thrift store, so. And yes, I know I keep messing with my sleeves, but oh well. So, Brooke, I hope you enjoy this when you do get around to it. Good luck with your crystals and everything. I can't think of anything else at this time for, like, rather Valentine's Day related, or did I want to, let's see, I'm trying to think of a couple of really good ones. I'd like to do some kind of fun, Valentine's Day project, but I don't have any craft supplies to do it. I don't have any construction paper. I don't have any stencils that I can cut out. And actually, I do, but the book is down in the trunk of the car, and I'd have to put shoes on to go get it. Because I don't think I ever took it out. There's some patterns in there for some different size hearts that I could use, or if I had construction paper handy, I could just draw them and cut them out myself just as easily. But I don't, and funny enough, that it's the Great Works of Heart book is the one I'm talking about, because everything in there is heart-shaped. It has to do with hearts in some fashion. But it's adorable. I don't know when I'll get to talk to Stephanie again, because she mentioned something about possibly trying a vinyl kit herself to like get a vinyl, so her and I could get a vinyl business started. But we wouldn't have anywhere to do it, because I feel like Mom would just throw a conniption fit if we tried to do it anywhere in the house, because it's her house, so she wouldn't think that something like that was appropriate, even though we're trying to make money, because then we would be having people bringing supplies and stuff like that. So there'd be strangers showing up at our door, and it would upset Mom more than it's worth. So if we were going to do something like that, I would only really truly be able to put my effort into it if we had a friend that would let us use a room, or we could just simply go to the library and use one of their rooms. But the only problem there is you can only have some of the rooms you can only have for an hour at a time. The bigger rooms where I myself have gone to meetings at in that very library, and it's close to mom. Well, actually, it's further away now because she's not she's in the new place and it's on a different street. So, but anyway, there are meeting rooms there that you can basically rent. I guess I'm not sure how it all goes, or if you actually have to probably pay money to get it. I don't know because I've never had to actually put one together myself. I always would go to the ones that somebody else had already put together and set up. Um, my eyes itching. Freaking allergies. And today, of all days, to have a freaking allergy attack. Because it's always this right eye. And then if it starts itching and then I try to rub it, the more I rub it, the more it itches. And then the more irritated it gets. I've got some eye drops here, but I don't know how good these are. And I think that the doctor said that I would probably do better with um, there's this sensitive type because I have sensitive eyes. But I'm going to at least try it and hope that this will give the itch relief so I stop rubbing it and not burn the heck out of my eyes in the process. Okay, that was a bad idea. Oh, crap. Because it didn't dawn on me until I already put the drops in my eye. I'm wearing mascara. So it's actually causing the mascara to get in my eye, and now it's burning even worse. Okay, I'm gonna have to go get me a wet rag and see if I can wipe it off that way. Ow. Put this down. It's cold water. Ouch. Oh, oh, really? Okay. Hopefully I got it. That was really stupid. Should have never did eye drops when I was wearing mascara, because then it just caused the mascara to get in my eye. Hello, Carmela. Brat kitty. No, it's too early for treats. So if that's what you're asking for, you might as well stop now. But at least the itching has stopped. Now if I can just keep myself from rubbing it anymore. Because usually a cold, wet rag's the only way I can make it stop. Carmela, what you doing? You and your sissies and brothers need to stop with the fighting crap. It's Valentine's Day. You're supposed to be good. Christ. At least this time it's Steffi. Hello? Yeah, you too. Yeah, just my dummy me. I had mascara on and put eye drops in my eyes. So guess where the mascara went? Yeah, and it's burning like mother fluppa. But I got it okay. I got it sorted. I just, usually when something like that happens, the best thing you can do is flush your eye out with cold water. So I, got a wet rag, and it was, I dabbed at my eye a few times, and then I kept wiping it with the cold, and therefore wiping the rest of the mascara off if there was any, because I need to get me another tube of it. I thought I had some newer ones around here, but I had to switch to my purple one, which you can like almost not see because my eyelashes already are light. Like it, if you've noticed when you're around me, it looks like I don't have any because my eyelashes are that light. So darker colors usually work best, like blacks or browns or something like that. Now, I mean, sometimes I can get away with a blue, but it has to be a certain shade of blue before, because then, you can see the eyelashes. Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's like it's really difficult to find what we would consider to be like a neutral color, or something that would, with the color of your eyelashes wouldn't make you look, oh God, that looks weird. This is not the look I was going for. I didn't know if you and who was doing anything today together or not. Oh, that was nice. Are you at work? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because some places you get lucky and you get off for a day, but others you don't. Oh, okay. Oh, but I did get a nice, surprise from Michael. He called us and talked to us for 20 minutes. I almost dropped the phone. I was like, "Wow, finally!" But he was telling us that I guess Brooke recently she had a really bad experience at a dentist appointment, and she was in horrible, agonizing pain for like 2 or 3 weeks straight because when they did whatever they did, like I think she had a root canal or something, they got too close to the nerve, and she was in agony. And yeah, Michael, he's been trying to get a hold of her all day, and he finally gave up. He said, "I think I'm gonna give up." I'm like, "At least you tried, Michael." And I told him again, I said, "Sorry for your birthday." He said, "That's okay, Mom." He said, "It made me smile when you did the videogram," because I did a videogram like the day before for him, because that was all I had. Because I figure, well, at least let me just have 3 stamps, goddess, so I can give him this. Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, I loved it, Mom." He said, "Thanks." He said, "It made me smile." And I said, "Okay, honey." I said, so I mean, maybe I'll just try to do that once in a while because it's a heck of a lot quicker and easier than typing a long letter in the JPay site. Oh my gosh. And I can't even use my Chromebook right now because the blue mouse stopped working with it. And I'm like, oh, great. That's all I need. I need another mouse, another wireless before I'll have a working mouse again. Oh no. What happened? Hey, Carmela. Yeah. I don't either, but yeah, that kind of makes it. I'm glad you told me that because so much for trying to do a live stream there for anything then, because if it's off, then who knows when he might get around to paying it, to get it back on or what happened. Okay. Nose is still running. Wow. Yep. You gave him an option and he didn't want to take it. So that's on Jim. I mean, because I don't know what it consists of getting it through the government or whatever, like you're talking, but you know. Oh, really? Yep. Uh-huh. Right. Yeah, well, we know why a lot of what he's probably doing with it. So, and I mean that will eat it up because especially when it's stuff like that, like that you can only get through the internet. You can only see it through the internet. Like a lot of times that's how he'll do the sermons. He'll watch the sermons on the computer because, they're not having a physical one because of COVID flying around and causing more ruckus and trouble and all that. So yeah, it might be why it got put off, turned off because he's addicted to that stuff and he just doesn't seem to want to stop. And that is gonna rack that bill. That's gonna rack that bill through the roof every single time, especially with something like that. Especially because that's the equivalent of doing the that same version of it. You might as well say a different version of that is the um, call me and we'll party kind of hotlines. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just as bad as that because think about how bad it would rack up your phone bill. So you can imagine the internet is probably going to be 3 times worse. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Do you have some kind of it's like a big journal thing or something that you keep in the utility room on a shelf? Because I saw one there and I thought, I wonder if that's Stephanie's or if that's Jim's, or because I don't remember Jim ever having anything like that. It looked like it had a lot of stuff sticking out of it. It had a pin attached to it. It looked like it might have been, but I saw it on the shelf in the utility room and I thought that was kind of an odd place to put something like that. But okay, it might have just been what it was. Okay, good. Because you know what I'm thinking. You got to be careful about what kind of information you leave laying around because you don't know what Jim might do with it. You know what I mean? So it's better to be cautious. Yeah, well, you wouldn't have to worry so much about mom reading something private because her eyes are bad. So I mean, she'd be lucky to see anything written on the page at all if it was something private you didn't want everybody to see. You know. Okay, good. Right. Good. Because I didn't know if it was yours, if you had misplaced it, or if you remembered putting it there, or if I should at least mention it. That's why I took a chance and said, well, I'll mention it. And that way, if it's okay, then you let me know. And then I'm like, okay, if I see it there, then I won't worry about it. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, and that's what I try to do because if I do any type of writing of like a series, if especially if it's a personal nature, then I will keep it put up somewhere where I know I don't have to worry about like Jim stumbling across it because I do have a couple of them there at mom's, but only I know where it is. So I know him, I think, well enough that he's not going to start looking in bags or anything up there. But it's still I keep a couple over there because I never know when I might need one over there. And I did tell mom something about, I said, I don't know what's happening Monday. Well, here we are. It's Monday, but I don't know that I feel like going out because the weather still to me isn't all that great. It's cold out. I don't want to be, I don't want to be driving over ice and stuff. I mean, again, driving into the driveway that's nothing but ice, or because I don't know if any of that's melted or not. Really? Because I know like we've had some snow here because our car was covered um, earlier. Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh huh. Right. Yeah. Exactly. And it's not worth putting yourself through additional crap either. Because you know how she is about that kind of stuff. So just keep her out of it altogether is the best way for sure. Just tell her I'm going out with a friend. I'm going out with Janice, and the driveway is bad, so she didn't want to chance it. So she asked me to meet her at the Kroger, and it's nothing for you to walk up there to the Kroger. It's just a few minutes. Depending on whether or not you have to walk in the street. But if the sidewalks were nothing but ice, I would walk in the street myself. But I would walk right along the curb, as far away from traffic as I could. Okay. Okay. Bye. Yeah, I don't want her to miss a call from her boss. Get her in trouble because she is at work. I don't want her, talking to me too much and being too distracting for her. Well, this is definitely going to make for an interesting live stream. That's what, 2, 3 conversations now that we've had on here. Well, one of the times Maria was up here, she was having a conversation with her friend Liz on the phone, and she had it on speaker. And I really don't like it when she does that because it's like, Norma, do you really want everybody out there knowing your business? I have limited control over who is allowed to see my live streams. That's why I try to do subscribers most times, but yet it says public. So that means that other people can still view it. I guess. I don't know. I don't know enough about it yet. I'm just kind of stumbling along as I go and learning here and learning there and trying to apply it in the most effective, efficient way possible so that I can gain an understanding of how, all the different things you can do with this YouTube stuff and how to have good content and that whole deal. So sorry it took me so long to get that other, 3 more cards read, and then, another lesson and all the questions. I'm not sure when I'm going to have the next one on because I don't want to commit and say, oh, I'll have one on there again tomorrow. And then something happens and I can't do that. I can't fulfill that. And now that I know that they don't have internet at mom's right now, it wouldn't do me any good to try and live stream over there because I'm not going to be able to. And the only way that I would feel comfortable doing a live stream and reading off my lessons and, reading off my nature cards would be if I was in my room, my temple room, or my prayer closet in the attic of my mom's house. If I was in there and I locked the door from the inside and I had the red X on the outside of the door, meaning do not disturb me, because, I would have music playing most likely. Most of the time I do. I don't always, but I try to, because then that keeps like positive vibrations going and, different things like that. So, but, I've been on here almost 3.5 hours, and because of all the distractions and everything, I don't want more of that happening throughout the day, and it may very well. So it's probably better for me to just end this live stream now because I have some other episodes of magical crafting that I would like to catch up on. Don't know how many of those I'll be able to see. And the Green Witch, see what any of her latest ones are. Maybe pop over to Paratalk with Holly and Paul and Shay. But because I haven't even gotten around to watching that, there's some paranormal investigators that I've been meaning to catch up on, watching some of their latest stuff, and I just haven't been able to because this is the difficulty of being a phoenix or having a strong phoenix energy around you is the explosive times. Sometimes they're good and they're a lot of happy. Sometimes they are absolutely miserable and people are dying and people are in the hospital and things are going wrong and you're going to a bunch of funerals and you're just nothing but sadness all around. You know, it's not a fun situation. Um, and the addiction that I was speaking of that me and Steffi were talking about on the phone just now, I won't say, but for those of you that know Jim and that have met him and know what he's like, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, what his addiction is. And due to the fact that they don't have internet right now, it makes me wonder if that isn't a big part of why, because of how often he is engaging in that type of online activities, which will eat through your media like just like any kind of games you play on your phone. It'll eat through your phone and kill the battery quick.
No, it's not on because you didn't pay the cable bill, the internet bill.
But it was on.
Your internet Spectrum doesn't have data limits. It's going to cost you exactly the same regardless of how much data you use.
Yeah, because that's what Steffi was talking about, is all the data that he seems to be going through and stuff. So I don't know.
That's not it.
But whatever it is, I'm not technologically sound enough to understand what it is, but Chris does. So it doesn't matter if I understand it or don't.
The fact he didn't pay the bill.
Yeah, and he's good at that. You know, he gets it signed up and then he don't pay the bill. Well, what's the point of getting it signed up or getting it turned on if you're not going to pay the bill? You're just going to use it until they cut it off because you're not paying the bill. Bye, everybody. Blessed be. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's try to have a good one.